Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to round three of the SYC in Michigan.
Yes.
We've got the kids on the long pattern today. Let's get back over to them. They're in frame one.
Yes.
Some are in frame two. And we're sitting in front of U18 girls and U18 boys.
Yes.
Perfect. And we're going to have a special guest right now. We're going to have a parent jump in place of me, and Mike will talk to the parent.
Yes.
And then I'll be back later. All right.
So while we go fetch our parent, she will be here shortly. All right. So in the booth, we have April Watts,
Hello.
who is the mom of Aiden Watts, who is currently bowling on 47 and 48. So Aiden is a senior, just completed his final year of high school. He's going to be heading off to Rock Valley to bowl next year.
Yep.
Which is really exciting.
A little far from home.
A little far. What, Chicago area?
Yes.
Yeah. So still looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Bowling in college is a neat experience. So, and you guys have been to many, many, many SYCs over the last couple of years, haven't you?
Probably at least a dozen.
Yep.
We try to do as many as we can.
And once again, Aiden's one of the. He's also on the Storm Evolution
Junior staff.
junior staff.
Yes.
So he's been with us for.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
Great opportunity.
Exactly. And he does a really good job making sure that he's posting content on Instagram and his results, and he's an influencer. He's what we were looking for.
He's working on it.
Oh yeah. Well, influencing is the development. It's always in motion. You always have to put up content. There's always new things to put up. So right now they're waiting for lane 47 to set the 10 pin.
They had issues with that one earlier, didn't they? 47?
Yeah, 47 had a 180 during the practice. But the mechanical staff here at Royal Scott do an excellent job. So
Yeah, they're pretty quick on it.
they are. So when we talk about going to the SYCs, tell us a little bit. What's the decision making between flying and driving and
Well, we live in Maryland. So if they're in the coastal, we drive to the coastal. We drive to Delaware. We drove to this one, which was like 11 and a half hours. So that was doable. But Vegas, we've done the SYC in Vegas twice, and obviously we flew to that one. And we flew to Texas last year too, which was nice. We really liked Texas.
Very cool.
The traffic was a bit much, but
Yeah, I can believe that, especially in Texas.
yeah. So it just depends, really. Obviously on finances, you can't find all of them. I wish we could.
No, it's there's a lot you have to take into account. Hotel, food,
Yes.
it's airfare. If you're traveling with bowling balls, can be a problem.
I actually have a part-time job that covers all of the bowling expenses.
Very nice.
It was either that or tell them he can't bowl anymore.
Oh boy. Well, and a lot of the families, like in our group, also like when for like junior gold, often get a house like a VRBO or something like that.
Oh, we've done that too.
And
We prefer that actually.
yeah, it's totally expense saving, and the when we're like selecting squads, all the parents work together to try to see how they can get the closest and what's the most centrally located, considering that some of the centers at a junior gold are often an hour plus away.
We shared an Airbnb for Rhode Island this year with two other Maryland families, the Bennetts and McLeans.
So it's an interesting part. Now, the question that we had a parent seminar on Friday, and we've been asking this question:
Oh,
Do
boy.
you bowl?
Do I bowl?
Yes.
Maybe twice a year,
Okay.
and I'm not good at it at all.
But your husband bowls.
He started bowling about a year or two ago on local senior league,
Very nice.
and I think he averages around 160.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
didn't start out at 160,
Yeah.
so he's been doing pretty good. He enjoys it.
Good. And then and when watching your child bowl, there's ups, there's downs. It's sometimes hard. It's
Very
sometimes
hard.
frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel bad for my wife who watches me bowl sometimes when I was bowling tournaments and missing spares, and it's.
It's hard to keep that game face when they turn around and look at you.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to keep that game face.
Yep. Yeah, because the parent is as important in regards to supporting the athlete while they're playing. The bowler knows they missed a spare already. The parent needs to be that that safety
Cheerleader.
zone. Yep, cheerleader, pit crew, safety zone,
Yeah,
ball
definitely.
caddy. All the important
We get the
stuff.
brunt of it with a smile on our face
That is
most of
true.
the time.
That is true. But and they're still working on lane 47.
Yeah,
so
what's going on there?
I don't know. It was having trouble with the 10 pin yesterday at the end of the squad too. So
Okay.
they had it in repair. They got it all squared away, and it's still being problematic today.
It's a nice center.
It is. And this center is amazing. So 60 lanes, and
Yeah.
it's the largest LED. This masking unit is the largest continuous LED
Really?
signboard supposedly in the world.
It's pretty awesome.
It is. And then they also have here 36 holes of regular golf. They have a indoor.
Somebody said there was an upstairs.
Yes, there is a 450 seat banquet room upstairs.
I haven't been upstairs.
They have a driving range. They have multiple bars, including one that's underneath the building.
No way.
Yes. So, and Friday night when we were here, they had a cruise in, so they had classic cars in the back parking lot, or
Oh, wow.
the west parking lot, and yeah, this center is constantly in motion. They've got stuff going on 7 days a week. In addition to tournaments, they host the Michigan Junior, the Michigan State. They host a lot of events here. So it's
They seem to be fine tuned.
yes. And this center is a very, very, very popular tournament center. The staff here is very attentive too. They just put in these LED masking units, and they built us the masking units that you see that say "Welcome to Lansing."
Is this where U12 was junior gold a couple of years ago?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
I mean, we weren't U12 obviously, but I think I remember the name
Yep.
for junior gold.
Oh yeah. So the this center it gets a lot of play, a lot of action. There will be many tournaments in the future here as well. Anytime that the junior gold comes to the Detroit area, there's a lot of centers like this one and Thunderbolt which is currently hosting the U22 Masters as we speak, and U22 Queens. They get a lot of play, and it's really cool. We've also got in the U22, just speaking about the juniors, we have a Marylander that's leading on the U22 Master side, Mr. Nate Trentler.
Yes.
Led qualifying and earned a berth on Junior Team USA. And on the U22 Queens side, Miss Sydney Bone, who was a multiple champion at the SYC.
I saw that.
Led qualifying there and has earned a spot on Junior Team USA for the upcoming year. So.
That's phenomenal.
And it's neat.
And Nate's brother Nick is also on Junior Team USA.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. So we've got some really good players going on, and then we've also got they're fixing repairs to 47. This is what they did yesterday.
45 just went down.
45's got Deadwood in the 10 pin side.
Oh, I see.
And there he goes. Now the staff here is really good. The two main pin chasers that they have are on it. So if the machine is down this long, it means they're actually fixing a really intense repair.
They're fast.
Yes, but it looks like we're back up and running.
Yay.
So let's see what we can do.
Your wife was telling me there's a lot of, like a third of the bowlers here this weekend are new to SYC.
Yes.
That's excellent too.
Yeah, we've had, we average somewhere around 50 to 60 new families this year. We always worry because there's so many U18s in the boys and girls side that move on at the end of this year. And you always go, well, where's the next crop coming? Well, the U12 is growing, U15 is strong, and we've got a bunch of new families that are investing in this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, Nicole and I were talking about bowling is one of the few high school sports where you can earn scholarship money.
Yes.
There really aren't any other, you can't get scholarship money in high school track and field or high school
I
football.
thought it was the only youth sport.
I think it is. I know there's some allowances that they've just recently done for one of the other sports, but bowling is the number one by
Okay.
a
Yeah.
huge number. And
Aiden started when he was 5, so he's been accumulating since he was 5.
Yep. And that's the awesome part too, is that you can start at such an early age and just generate smart money, which takes care of books and tuition and
Oh yeah.
stuff at the school, and
Every little bit helps.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. College isn't cheap, right?
No.
So all the smart money that makes a big difference, and having events like this in Junior Gold that do provide all that smart money. I think this weekend, I believe we're giving away something like $18,000
Wow.
in scholarship money. Plus, we also, the SYC works with 2 charities, Make-A-Wish of Utah and Ballard versus the Big C. So we also raise money for charity during this event. So this is more of promotion of bowling event. That's Storm's goal, especially with the SYCs, is to promote bowling. Give the youth bowlers an opportunity to compete on a really high level. And
we love the SYCs. I mean, you get to see new places, you meet a lot of new people. I mean, bowling is phenomenal with meeting new people. The amount of kids that Aiden has met and made friends from all over.
Oh yeah,
is great.
Nope, Lane 47 has decided to have a moment.
What's going on? Did you break it? Still working on it. So what do you think of this pattern this morning, Mike?
Okay, so I have in front of me the lane graph of the pattern. All right, it's 47 feet. The volume is 29.1 mils. That's on the medium to high side, more toward the high side. It's built more toward the middle of the lane, so it's built more in between first and second arrow, second and third arrow, more toward third arrow. The main areas of play are 8, 12, 13, 12, and 14 on the reverse. So that means they want you to play a little bit more in the third arrow range. For the two-handers that have a little more rev rate, they're going to play a little bit deeper.
Think this is going to be a fairly high scoring pattern?
I do believe so, and the reason why is the center has older lane beds, and just as we saw in Providence, when you have older lane beds, the front part of the lane in what we call the track area, which is usually around 8 board to about 14 board, gets a little bit worn, and there's high friction in that zone. So you have to play away from that zone a little bit. This pattern is built more where to the left of that high friction zone, so you've got friction to your right and oil to your left, and that's a recipe for high schools.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking at all the scoreboards here, and it looks like they're so far doing pretty good.
Yeah, there's lots of early strikes going on, and just a reminder, these folks bowled 10 games yesterday and a 2-hour practice session on Friday, so there's a lot of bowling that's gone on already, and this should be a relatively high-scoring pattern.
I saw one young man using super glue on his thumb yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, skin protection tape. The pro shop's got a lot of business of opening up thumb holes and changing out finger grips, especially when you have the first-timers who aren't used to bowling this many games in over a weekend. There are many opportunities to have fingers swell and thumbs swell.
We're back in business.
Yes, we are. Let's see what Mr. Colin Cummings has for us.
He did pretty good yesterday on the medium.
Ion Max playing in. As you can see, there's lots of hold. So this is where the pattern's going to play today. So the question is, who makes the moves the fastest when they see the ball reaction change?
Right.
And can you move to the left? I mean, it's just keep going left as the day goes along.
Aiden is up. Ooh. You
All
think
right.
I'm making him nervous
Got
sitting
a
here?
little wide. Oh, it could be. We talk about focus on the shot making and what's out in front of you and nothing that's going on in the background. Um,
He got 6 on this lane on the first frame too.
so this lane may be playing just a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
We'll see what we've got. Now like I said, with this pattern, the other thing is when you're bowling in a center that has this high friction zone, um, when you're a two-handed player with a high rev rate and high ball speed, wrapped it. 10, the head pin went around the 10. Um, when you go deep, even on the fresh, your ball speed has to be kind of moderate a little bit. You can't quite hit the ball super hard because of the fact that if you hit it too hard, it overskids in the oil, then overhooks in the dry, and you get
Yeah.
leaves like what we see on lane 48. And I think, just like you pointed out, I think the left lane is playing tighter than the right lane because Collins' ball, which was a really good shot on 47, did not hold on 48. So
One of the pairs we were on yesterday was the same situation. Aiden could strike on one, but
Yep.
the other one was a big struggle.
Yep.
And then there's some kids though that can figure it out and they nail it. It's like they can read it and know exactly what to do.
And we've seen this more and more over the last couple of years with the aging lane beds that you almost have to play the pair as two individual lanes and not play them as the same on both lanes. Traditionally we always thought you play them both the same and then you move to the next pair and hope they're the same. But nowadays it's a situation where they're just
There's that left lane.
You see with McCallan's ball too, just didn't come up.
Max, good bowler.
Yes, he is. He's going to McKendree next year. Aiden blowing out the solid 9 forward. Nicely done. So it's clear that the left lane here and the right lane are not the same. They're not playing the same. And that's, in today's, with the strength of the bowling balls today and with the volumes of oil that we see today, the difference in the lanes. Another one.
Close.
Yep. The difference that we see in the lanes shows up even more because the balls are stronger and the oils, there's more volume of oil in the lanes. So it's really a puzzle. That's one of the things we want it to be easy, right? We want it to be plug and play.
Oh, right.
And it just isn't because of all the available options. Because in the bowling ball alone, you've got the cover stock, you've got the core, you've got the layout, and the surface prep. And we talk about changing surfaces all the time to get control of the ball reaction. Well, then you have to worry about the lane surface itself, what each individual...
It's a science.
Yes. And it's all about... The term is matching up. If you can match up, you can score. And in the Turbo seminar on Friday, Eric Krause made a point of saying that as good as your physical game can be, if you're not matched up with the right ball and playing the right part of the lane, your ability to score is reduced. So it's a balancing act. You have to be way more open-minded in regards to watching your ball. One of the things we talk about at Junior Gold is you don't get the graphs prior to competition or even during competition. So you have to read what your ball's doing. And so it's a total...
You have to work with what the lane's giving you.
Right, and you have to also recognize when your ball moves and where your ball moves. On our Monday league, even though we give them the graphs, we put a cone down at the end of the oil pattern to give them another frame of reference to see if they can kind of feel out where their ball motion is. Because when they get to Junior Gold and they have that practice session, they don't know what they're bowling on, so the only guide they have is the bowling ball in their hand. And it's a little tough here on 47 and 48 initially.
This young man that's getting ready to come up on 48, Brian, he did really well yesterday on I think it was the short, yesterday morning.
Yes.
I think he medaled.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't recognize his name, so I don't know if he's new to SYC. I think somebody said it was his first SYC actually. When I think about it.
Yeah. And
so that's pretty good.
There are a lot of good bowlers in the Michigan area. They have really strong high school bowling. So there's a lot of good talent that we haven't seen yet on the national level. That was a good shot right there. He kept it in a little bit. Made the nice adjustment on the tight lane. That is a good move. Making those moves quickly. We talked about that too. Is trust what you're feeling.
There you go.
They just caved in the 4-9. Very nice.
They just gave up. They just laid down.
Yeah. But tell them trust what you're feeling. Your brain's not wrong. You bowl a lot. You know what these lanes are going to do. So trust what you see and just make that move. For the folks that are on the Evolution staff, we had a Zoom call with Jason Belmonte.
Yeah, we had to miss that, unfortunately.
That's okay. You guys were on the road on Thursday night, and Jason's in his interview he talked about how he reads the lanes and what he's focused on when he's bowling, and when you make an adjustment, you have to believe that the next shot you make is going to be the right move, and then if it isn't, then you adjust from there. But you always need to have the confidence that first move you make is the right move. That first ball change you make is the right ball change. And you make those things based on experience, working through your bag, knowing which balls, up, down. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So you're part of the family group here at SYC. There's a lot of families you get to see on these once a month kind of situations.
Yeah. Those friends that we made that I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you carry some of that through to college as well. I mean,
Definitely.
You're going to be going to some collegiate events, and you're going to see, you're going to see some familiar faces over and over again. It's not just the bowlers. One of the things I tell the bowlers, bowling is a very small community, so the friends you make in now in junior bowling, we had to wait till collegiate bowling to meet people from across the country. Now, these guys have a worldwide community that they get to play with. And same thing with the parents. You've got some bowling parent friends that you're going to know for the rest of your life, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. And they're the best people.
Yep, bowling people are fun. We're good people.
And they all support each other. It's a tight community.
Oh, it is.
It's like a second family.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Lean 47 just decided to not set the 10 pin again, so here we go.
Got some good games over here too. Where Gianna's doing pretty good game one.
Yes, she is. Oh, Messenger just went behind the 10. That was a good shot, though.
It was a good shot.
That was a really good shot. But,
honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Gianna struggle. She's a focused, and she's got it together.
Yeah, we talked about that this morning. Is that Gianna always seems to find a way.
Did I just black flag
her? Blower 7.
Or not black flag, black cloud, yeah.
A blower
black
7.
flag 2.
Yeah. But
some of the kids were hanging out last night after bowling.
Okay.
All our hotels are pretty close together.
Yep.
So they got to hang out, do some off the lanes fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Friday night we had a social at a fun park where there was go-karts and batting cages and games.
Miniature golf.
Oh yeah, the mini golf with that huge mountain right in the middle of the mini golf center.
Everybody was out there in coats.
That was kind of cool, yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah, when we were in Providence, it was a little cold too, and a little misty, and everybody.
And it was raining. They didn't care. They were still riding the go-karts.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then at the Coastal every year, we have a beach party on Friday night, where some of these kids who don't get a chance to actually, go play in the ocean get to go, get sand in their shoes, So it's
that's Aiden's favorite SYC is the Coastal.
Yep.
He wants to do it because he doesn't age out yet because he has an August birthday.
Oh, very nice.
So he's not 18 until August, so he can still do the Coastal. But I said I don't think it's going to match up with your college schedule. You're going to be a little far away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
He's hopeful.
Yeah, because at the Coastal we have glow sticks, we got footballs and volleyballs. And,
the kids love it.
Yeah. The staff at Planet Fun cater basically taco dinner for us.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We have fun at every single stop. And I know Leanne and Blair have fun trying to plan out exactly what we're going to do for the social event.
Right.
Um,
They do a good job.
oh, yeah, it's fun.
We miss Leanne this weekend.
Yes, Leanne is not available this weekend, so she's been texting us every day, just making sure. And as my wife was saying earlier, as we're going through some of the paperwork, Leanne does a really good job at pre-organization.
Mm.
So a lot of the things, of course, we have a checklist, but
That she left for you?
oh, of course,
Oh.
but you can see how the palette was organized and how the medals were organized and how the trophies were organized. That we were taken care of. She took care of us. We are set to go.
Nice.
So it's very cool.
She's got it together.
Yep. Making sure that that it all runs smoothly for us. But
Looks like everybody's pretty much wrapping up game one.
yeah,
Except
game
for
one's
us.
finishing up. Except for we're about
We're going to lag a little bit.
4 frames behind, and then
Some decent scores.
yeah, decent scores. There we go. Tiana strikes, so she's easily in the 200s. It looks like we're going to have another 200 over on lane 43, which we can't see off the camera. And then Jim Carpenter on lane 49 right now is on a double, 129 in the 7th, so he's getting set up nicely. And a nice strike. Another one of the good area bowlers from Michigan. There's a lot of good talent.
Yeah.
Michigan, Chicago.
They have a lot of high school bowling here, don't they?
They have a ton of high school bowling.
Yeah, we don't have that in Maryland.
No.
Well, they've started one recently.
Yep, we are doing what's called an unaffiliated program. Right now, we're still trying to get the schools to buy in, and right now they haven't. So what we're doing is we put an unaffiliated team together. We had one of our girls finish 6th in the national last year, so that was really good. And we're hoping that the success that we're building can create some interest that a school may go, okay, I see what you're doing. Maybe we can help support this. And if we get one school, then you usually get 2 schools. When you get 2 schools, you get 3. But thanks.
I think they had high school bowling where I went to high school. Many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get involved in any of that. But I do remember seeing it in the yearbook. They did have
Very
a
cool.
bowling team apparently.
Nice. Yeah, I'm born and raised Baltimore area. We didn't have bowling at all.
Yeah. My mom used to bowl in a league when I was a kid.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's where you got it in your blood a little bit?
Kinda, yeah. When Aiden was 5, I saw that they had a youth league
Okay.
at our local center. And I said, hey, you want to try that? And of course, he didn't know what bowling was. He was 5. So I tried to explain it to him. He's like, yeah, I'll try it, Mom.
Very cool.
And here we are.
I think we're waiting for a
Yeah, I think
respot.
I think they had another issue with 47 again.
Yep. But shout out to Lord Calvert Bowl.
That's where Aiden started, yeah.
Yep. And,
It's changed a lot over the years, but it's still going.
Oh yeah. And then in the last 6-7 years, there's been a couple of bowling centers in the Baltimore area that have really tried to develop junior bowling. So the point where we're getting kids on the junior national team, and trying to work it out from there. Hang on for just.
I mean, not to toot your own horn, but Mike does a lot for the youth in our area too. Got a little interruption. Always coaching.
Always. But
Yeah, I was saying not to toot your own horn, but you do a lot for the youth in our area.
well, when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of facilities and a lot of coaching, high-level coaching and knowledge. And even when I bowled in college, and then when I coached in college, Um, it was still like you had to find it yourself, and this was
Yeah.
pre-internet, so there wasn't the resources you had to really dig to get um, the resources you want. So when I started at the bowling center as manager of the bowling center, I decided that I would try to make um, give the kids what I didn't have,
Yeah.
provide them the resources, plus my affiliation with Storm. The more resources that are available even then. Um,
No, we drive almost an hour and a half to drive up to your center.
yep, and we have folks that drive from as far away as Front Royal, Virginia area.
In Pennsylvania too, right?
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah. There's not much. Well, there's nothing like that really in our area. Lord Calvert, is fine, but we just don't have all those opportunities.
No, so it's like I said, the ability to provide the opportunities. We have 3 centers in our area that all run sport bowling programs because since we don't have high school, the kids aren't bowling on
Right.
or bowling in a formal setting 3 or 4 days a week. So between Greenway Bowl, Crofton Bowling Center, and Fort Meade, and Lord Calvert actually does some to help as well. We try to get all that going on. So
got a lot of changing of the lanes here.
Yep,
we're still waiting.
We got moving. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap. Okay, lane 47 is back.
Maybe.
It's back. Here it comes. It's a 9-pin. Watch, it's gonna sweep it off, and the 9-pin's gonna come through. So with a tournament like this, where we're using every lane in the center, did he throw a 0 on the first one? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he did. Gutter ball.
We're just gonna go from there.
You spare it up? Oh.
Yeah, no. All right. Moving on. Now we're back at it. So, the goal is, and if you, we hear this from parents a lot in our area, or with the SYCs, is that there's nobody in the area that provides the higher level coaching, and you really have to search it out.
Yep.
You can attest to the fact that it's worth the drive.
Yep. Definitely.
The number of kids that we've gotten into programs where there are full ride scholarships available for boys and girls now. It's if you're willing to put in the effort and the work, it's totally worth the drive.
It is definitely.
And it's fun.
It's a lot of Chick-fil-A.
It's a lot of Chick-fil-A, and we need to mention this.
Okay.
Let's talk chicken.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So I've noticed with our youth bowlers over the last couple of years that chicken is the number one favorite place to stop.
Yes.
And in our area, on the way from Fort Meade Bowling Center down to home for you, you now have Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, Slim Chickens, Cane's, and you're getting a Zaxby's soon.
Which is Aiden's favorite.
Yep. And then when you come here to Michigan, there's Culver's.
That's my favorite.
So it's the chicken is just blowing up.
It's like the teen diet is chicken.
Yes.
So we do a lot. Now that we have Slim Chickens, we do a lot of that too.
Yep. Slim Chickens and tater tots. Those are the things.
Yeah, I've already scoped it out for Junior Gold. There is a Slim Chickens near Green Bay, so we'll probably be hitting that one.
Nice.
Good shot, Aiden.
Yep. Aiden's on a roll.
Brian's doing good.
Brian's doing as well. Even with all the breaks, they're keeping
They're keeping the flow going.
Yeah.
The girls have packed up and moved out.
Yep. Yeah, the boys are a little frustrated because they're behind the move a little bit, but actually the next couple pairs they're going to have are just finishing up. So they've got...
Yeah, they're not too far behind. We've got 3 more frames.
They're doing okay. They are doing all right. Sunday, first game, it's a little tough to get the motion going, and then once they get into game 1 and game 2, the pace picks up. Especially on a Sunday, if there's more strikes being thrown, it seems to be the block goes faster.
I just want to say I'm glad we don't have to bowl on 59 and 60 today. That was not a nice pair to, I think, anybody yesterday.
Nope.
That was rough.
And our pro this weekend, Mr. Justin Knowles, made a comment. He goes, "Yeah, that's one of the hardest pairs in this house," and he purposely practices on it because it's hard.
Interesting.
Which is, I hear the same thing from professional golfers and other folks, is that you have to practice the hard stuff as much as you practice the easy stuff.
True.
Because you're going to learn more from
That's how you're going to get better.
Yep. And let's see. We're having a 10-pin set problem again. Oh.
Oopsie daisy.
Dropped it again. All right. Yeah. It's frustrating when the lane keeps breaking down.
Yeah. They can't get anything going here.
Nope.
But they are quick here to fix it.
Yep.
So there's that. Your wife has been wonderful this weekend with her quote-unquote homemade cookies that she brought yesterday. Yes. She baked in the hotel room.
Yes, the Lansing Sports Commission has treated us with cookies, and this morning there were some donuts.
I saw the donuts, and I passed on the donuts, which is huge.
Very nice. But, yeah, the Lansing Sports Commission has treated us well this weekend.
There's some frustrated bowlers.
There are some frustrated bowlers. It is frustrating when the lane breaks down.
Yeah, I was surprised yesterday that they were using every single lane. So I was like, what do they do if something breaks down to the point where they can't use it?
Yeah, then
sometimes that happens.
It does happen sometimes. We'll figure this out. See, staying loose while you're taking the break. There we go.
Keeping the blood flowing.
Old school style.
These kids have fun no matter what.
Yes. That's the best part. None of this is permanent. They'll get it.
Mac and Aiden will be on a team together for the Super Slam.
Very nice.
For the little fun team event that they do.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're looking for one more partner, though. They had somebody, but they had to drop out, so they need one more person.
Okay. That's a pretty good team to be on. They need to, yeah.
And little tidbit.
Yeah.
If Aiden can't do Coastal this year, his first SYC was at Bolorama.
Okay.
And Super Slam, which is also obviously at Bolorama, might be his last SYC. So just a little interesting little tidbit there. Only interesting to me, but
no. We hear that from the parents all the time. Where was your first? Where was your last? And Leanne and Blair, and now we are, since we've been doing more of these, very aware of who our seniors are, who's graduating, who's moving on. It's cool to watch them move on. We hear the conversations with the parents about visiting campuses and doing scholarship opportunities, and
we drove all the way to Kansas last year to look at a college.
Oh yeah,
that was a long drive.
Yeah, one of our Monday night league bowlers is actually going to be going to out in California. Northwestern has a satellite in Alameda, California.
Who's that?
Eric Sue.
Oh, I thought he was going up north for some reason.
Well, he's going to Northwestern, but they have a pilot program out in Alameda where he then can transfer back to the main campus. It's all part of, I think it's in medical. I think he's going for a medical degree.
Yeah, I think I remember his dad saying something about that.
So
good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the plan is, get him in Alameda, do the satellite courses out there, and then go to the main campus.
47's back up.
And
still a struggle.
Well, that was a long wait for Brian there.
True. Yeah, because he's had a really good game going so far.
Yep. They're going to be about 7 or 8 frames behind, it looks like.
Oh, nice. He picked up the spare.
Very good. He's not letting it effective.
He's having fun at his first SYC for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Caught the bug. Yeah, we've got some. And the best part of the SYC is it moves around the country. So, we're going to be, obviously the next is Coastal Delaware, but then we're going to, Super Slime in Delaware.
Yeah.
But then we also go to Smyrna, which is just outside of Nashville. We're going to be in Boise. So we definitely see different parts of the country. We're going to be doing Dallas later in the year. So
yeah, we really liked Texas. That was nice. The area where we were was nice.
Okay. We take our victories where we can get them. Lane 47 seems to be rolling. So.
Yeah. So far, so good. Charles picked up his spare.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him before either. This might be his first SYC.
I think so.
After a while, you start to recognize the names and the kids' faces, and you're like, I've never seen that one before.
I talked too soon about lane 47.
Oops. Did we jinx him?
I think we did.
What does Blair call that? The black cloud?
53 and 54 having trouble with scoring cameras. Okay. Blair's down there taking care of 53 and 54, so.
Blair's got a new job.
We do.
You guys swapped places.
Part of what we do is, we help with the center, making sure everything keeps going, score corrections, if there's misreads.
You guys are on it. Uh-oh. He's shaking his head.
But,
oh.
We get used to learning all the different scoring systems that are out on the market, too, so it works with us.
It's missing the 10 pin?
Yeah, it didn't set the 10 again. Or it knocked it over, so.
These kids will probably be glad when this game is finished. We're still on game 1.
Yes, we are. We're currently
and all the other kids are halfway the game, too.
Yeah, we're in the 8th frame of game 1. We're behind.
Did you take the 10 pin? Did you take the 10 pin? Has anybody seen the 10 pin?
47. We sent a note off to the desk again, so it's all right. Like I said, there's a recurring something or other.
Yeah.
So we gotta hopefully even if we have to wait 10 minutes for them to put a fix in place, that would be the nice thing to do. Or as Aiden said, set it manually. Old school style.
Oh, that's really old school. What does he know about that?
Seen it on the internet.
Yes, on YouTube.
Oh, my dad set pins.
Did he really?
Back in the day, yeah.
In the Maryland area?
No, in Iowa. My dad's from Iowa, and one of his jobs when he was a teenager was setting pins at a local bowling center.
Is that where you got the bug from?
Yes. My dad was a bit of an athlete. He played basketball. He bowled. Played a little bit of tennis, played ping pong.
Wow. So he did it all.
That's where I got it from.
But that's cool that he was a pin setter.
Oh yeah. So at the end of the night, if a bowler had a good night, they'd roll money down the gutter to the pin setter in the back.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep.
Little tip.
Yep. Because he would be sitting up on a little ledge and then collect the pins, put them in.
That's probably going to keep you busy if it's a decent sized center.
Oh yeah.
Nice shot.
Very nice.
Amelia.
Yep, she's on 280 pace early. Very nice.
Yeah. And this is a whole new group of kids I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, lane 47 is being lane 47.
It's doing 47 things.
Yes, it is. So the U18 girls have moved in. There's another two-handed bowler.
Yeah.
Lane 46.
You're seeing that more and more with the girls.
Yep. That is the future in the girls' game. When the boys first started two-handed becoming a thing inside the junior boys side, like, oh, Junior girls will never go two-handed. Well, guess what?
Yeah, when the first time I saw one, I thought, oh, that's interesting. And now you're just starting to see them more and more.
Yep.
This young lady, I don't think you can see her on camera. Can't see what her name is, but she's two-handed.
Yep. And there's a bunch of, I shouldn't say a bunch, a couple two-handed ladies that are bowling on the women's tour this year.
Nice shot.
Very nice.
Haley.
So we, it is coming. We have in our junior program on Mondays, we have a two-handed young lady who throws two-handed backup.
Oh yeah, Lindsay.
Which is actually the future. We started working with our two-handed bowlers also to get them to throw backup as well, because why not take advantage of both sides of the lane?
Yeah.
When you have a lane condition like this where the front part of the lane is a mess, and because of age, and if the left side has a better look and you're two-handed and you can throw it back up, why not?
Yeah. Lindsay, I think, is bowling the PBA Junior this weekend in Baltimore.
Yes.
And we've got some Maryland kids obviously bowling that event.
Oh, yeah. Yes, multiple-time SYC champion Mr. Jake Boxty was leading after the first two rounds yesterday.
Yeah.
Averaging almost 250.
Yeah, he had a 299. I think in a 290 I saw.
Yep.
And another youth bowler out of our center,
Yep.
Tyler.
Tyler Anderson shot
bowled a 300.
Yep, he's on a roll.
Great bowling.
Exactly. So we're going to be on the staggered start system here with the lane 47 and 48 is going to fall almost a game behind. So now with the scoring for us, that just creates a gap, or unfortunately the group following behind has to wait a little bit. But
yeah, we're just on frame 9 of the first game.
Yep. As we can see, the young ladies that are about to come on are all engaged in social media activities and their phones, so it's a nice distraction while waiting.
They'd probably rather be bowling, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Knowing these kids.
Absolutely.
Sometimes some of them, I think they do it in their sleep.
That's true. Yeah.
Here's Taylor Kretz. She's also on the Storm junior staff.
There she is. Heading off to Nebraska in a year. Next year, I believe.
Oh, she's not a senior this year.
No, next year. I mean,
okay.
Year plus. She's committed to Nebraska.
That's awesome.
OMG, lane 47.
Are we back?
There's 10 pins.
There's 10 pins down there.
There's 10 pins on lane 47. Well, let's see what Collins does.
That's it. Collins going to go for it.
Yep.
Picked up 7.
Now, when you're young and flexible like these guys are, taking a bit of a long break doesn't have as much damage as us older folks. Oh, almost made the Greek church on 46, Amelia. She throws it really, really good.
Yeah, she's got a good game going, too.
I think the lane's starting to transition on 45 and 46 because she made a really good shot, and what struck earlier crept a little bit high. All right, come on, lane 47. Be nice.
Oh, I'm just going to say, some of these girls actually can outbowl some of the boys.
Yes, they can.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, I've said this before. Watching the U15 boys, they're better than the team I bowled with in college, and we were decent bowlers, but these guys are crazy good.
They do it way better than I could. I mean, if I get like a 70, I'm doing good.
Oh, that was that tight lane again.
Oops.
It's all right. Let's see if we can make a run at it.
So 47 holds out so they can finish up this game.
Yeah. Move on to the next game.
Can't see. Am I being kicked out?
Nice try. Yep, we're going to be, as soon as this game ends, assuming lane 47 cooperates, we will be handing the reins over to Nicole and Justin,
And you get to go back to scoring.
get to go back and keep score. Yeah, you'll see me running across the live stream, recording scores. We use Bowlmetrics for our scoring.
Good job, Ben.
Bowlmetrics makes scoring very easy. There's a QR code on the score sheet. We go pair to pair. We record the QR code, punch in the scores. They're automatically uploaded and divided by age group, boys, girls, cool. And by age group. So it's an instant upload.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting for the entire, bowling center to be finished and the spreadsheet to be printed, basically any parent or anybody who's spectating at home, you can do this at home. Bowlmetrics, METRIX.com. If you do bowl, go on there, you can actually see game by game.
Yep. Super easy.
Yep.
The kids just have to remember to write their scores down.
Yes, that is the hard thing.
Oh, nice shot by Mac. On 47, no less.
Yes. He flirted with the gutter for a while. Now he's back playing the pattern. He's focused.
He did really well yesterday, too.
Yep. Playing 47.
I think he's in the top 10.
Yes.
U18 boys.
I believe so.
There you go, Aiden.
Went
Good
to the
shot.
Ion Max. Shredded the rack.
It's a good-looking ball.
Yes.
You can tell I'm not a bowler. I just like the colors.
Yeah, it rolls really well, too. The Ion Max is...
It is a good ball.
Yeah. It gets,
from what I've seen.
It's very versatile. It even can be used on house conditions. There are a lot of bowlers that actually polish them and get a lot of play out of them.
Brian, another strike.
Yeah, another strike. He can go for 221.
Another
Whammo.
strike.
Beautiful.
Yeah, good.
That is amazing. Nice shot.
They're on a mission now.
Yeah.
They just want to get this game over
Get it.
with.
And one thing we haven't discussed is all the jerseys that we're seeing. We have a lot of custom jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
We were commenting yesterday that a lot of the players changed their jerseys between the first squad and the second squad.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that yesterday.
Including full outfits, like changing socks and skirts to match, or even the pants for some of the boys that have matching pants that go with the jerseys.
I'm wearing my Storm socks today for good luck.
There you go.
Excellent.
That is a beautiful finish right there.
Closed out with a turkey.
Yep.
Setting up for the next game.
Exactly.
Brian picking up his back. Nice.
And he went from a summit ascent to the Ion Max. And one of the things that we try to talk to our bowlers about is if you think you're in a position with the ball in your hand that you have to make a perfect shot, you're probably not in a strong enough ball. But you can probably step up and be a little looser with the shot. So, nice finish.
Yeah.
That was Aiden Watts right here. Nice. That's all right. Nice finish, though. That was really
Just
nice.
missed it.
All right. Did you guys call 47 in again?
Is 47 down again? I can't see. Oh, yeah. Missing a 10 pin.
So that's a challenge for a bowler when you've got a lane that goes down like this and you've had multiple breaks. They're now almost 8 frames behind everybody else. So
that's tough.
It's a challenge. It is a challenge.
I definitely think there's been some transition like you were talking about earlier, looking at the scores.
Oh, yeah. So, alrighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to...
Get kicked out?
Yeah, we're getting kicked out of the booth. We're going to let Nicole and Jess come back in. So I'm going to turn our mics down for a minute, and then Nicole is just to the right of April here. If she can...
Switch?
Well, she needs to put us in a pause for a moment so we can hand off. So...
Nicole.
Ready to swap out? Okay.
We're good?
We're swapping out. Did you know we'd have the longest game in the history of the tournament? Longer. Nice finish. It's all right. You guys got the torture today.
Yeah, for dealing with that. Why not plus?
One or two little things. It's not a lot. You are this close to making a run, but
All right, hello everyone. We are back for game almost 3 on 45 and 46, and they're just now starting game 2 on 47 and 48. There is a little bit of a lane issue, but they have it fixed now. And we are with Justin Knowles, our Rotogrip Pro Bowler, and me, Nicole Thomas, from Storm.
It's U18 girls here, I believe.
Yes, I think we still have the last of the U18 girls on 47 48, and then the girls on 45 and 46 will soon be U12 or U15.
Okay.
For the next game.
This has been a long wait for the girls, so it'd be tough to perform after sitting down for 20 or 30 minutes. Hopefully they all stayed loose.
Hopefully. They are a full game behind everybody else, so they were sitting forward that long.
It's tough.
Definitely
Super
not easy.
tough. At least the pair looks a little more scoreable today than yesterday. They looked brutal yesterday.
Yeah, the oil pattern must be better with the topography or
Yeah,
something.
helps out a little bit for sure.
Yeah, the scores are much higher.
Oh. And I still black cloud everybody. This is great.
That ball was good from Abigail,
That's a really good shot.
especially for not having bowled in 20 minutes.
Yeah. My first one's going really slow, and I'm moving like 4 and 2 right because I know it's going to be 12 miles an hour.
Yeah.
These kids are young and in shape, so no issue so far.
Yeah, none of them had to re-stretch or anything. They just went up there and started bowling. And the scores today look like they are about the same
Yeah.
as the medium pattern yesterday.
It does look like scoring pace kind of stayed that way. There's still a lot of kids that are getting super confused by all the friction on the lane.
Yes.
Definitely seeing a lot of that still.
And I noticed with some of the boys last game, Mike might have touched on this. Some of them are standing so far left that if they miss right, the ball just goes straight into the 3-pin.
Yeah, just falls right off of that cliff. I said it yesterday, I will continue to say it. You got to spend some time to the right of the pattern in practice, breaking them down to give you a little bit of room there because the fronts hook so much here. You're going to be forced over there, and if you have nowhere to throw it to, it makes for a very long day.
For sure. And that was a great ball by Taylor.
Her dad just tapped me on the shoulder, let me know that was a ball change from her last game. I like it.
Smart ball change.
Absolutely. A lot of two-handers on this pair.
Yeah, there are. Wow, that is a really shiny ball to be throwing on a long pattern.
Yeah, very shiny so far. I definitely get being confused when there's a lot of hook in the front. You think you need that shinier ball to get through it. I mean, in reality, it's probably a stronger ball, stronger cover, and maybe a little more ball speed or a little bit of loft. But I am also frequently confused by that. I don't throw it very hard, so it happens. I can relate.
We got girls moving into 45 and 46 now. They are starting game 3. Oh, great shot by Grace. And she knew it.
That was a good one. Just outside of that spot.
Gosh, she's really close. She's standing so far back on the approach, which probably helps her ball speed, but it's almost like she's throwing it too fast.
Yeah, threw that one right through the spot, it seemed like. Is that, I would assume, Olivia's Jeff Lizzie's daughter?
Might be.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
I don't know.
I thought I saw him around. A lot of talent on this pair.
I'm foreseeing high scores, hopefully.
I like that idea. That sounds good. All right, good spare there. A lot of head pin misses to the right. A ton of them, which is to be expected on a long pattern. But tough to keep those angles tight, especially coming off a short and medium pattern where you had to have pretty open angles.
Thankfully, the girls are getting the 10 to knock out at least when
Yeah,
they're
for
missing
sure.
right. No washout.
Makes that spare a little bit easier to shoot. For some reason, when I leave the 7 up with that, it usually gets wrapped around it.
Ooh, yeah.
That was really good from straighter there. That's a good shot. Seen a lot of phase AIs on the rack on this pair.
It's a little shocking to me. I don't know if that's the ball I would choose for this, but
Yeah,
it's obviously working for Allison.
definitely. Stronger,
great.
symmetric piece. Got a little bit of texture on it. Still a little cleaner through the front. Not a bad idea. I'm surprised to see them in symmetric balls so fast. Yeah. So how would you attack this pattern? What would be your? I know you mentioned yesterday that you're much better on longer patterns than short patterns.
That's true. Usually, well, game 1, I probably would start with XL because it's not super early. Like the RST Hyperdrive might be a little too early.
Sure.
XL might be nice. A Rockstar for sure would be what I would be throwing this game based on what I see
what
from
you see
them.
now. I like that idea.
We have an Attention Star out there. I think that's what Olivia's throwing. Which looks nice, but I would definitely throw a Rockstar based on that ball. That's
Still liking the
is what's
Rockstar
in the middle,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, how would you attack this pattern at this point?
Pretty similar. I like XL too. I think Hyperdrive's a little too much cover. So probably XL, Attention Star, S2, balls like that. Straighter up the lane, maybe trying to play the shim at that 11, 12, 13 to 9, 10-ish range to start.
My favorite look so far has been Gianna Randolina.
Yeah,
She's standing
agreed.
much further left than the rest of the girls, and her ball speed's pretty low today. And her ball just kind of floats
Just letting
straight
it
into the
float.
pocket.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of hit. She just lets the ball do the work. That's very nice when there's friction all over the lane like there is today.
Right. It seems like the people that are throwing the ball really fast have much higher likelihood of the ball just never seeing the friction.
Yeah,
going
just
straight.
won't quite slow down. You saw it right
Like
there with
Taylor.
Taylor. Yep, the ball just never slowed down. It looks like they're a little trapped. Break point on this pair looks like it needs to be a few more in.
Abigail almost got lucky with the Brooklyn there.
Brooklyn 9.
Not a bad leave.
As long as it's makeable at this point. I thought scores would be a little bit higher today, but they've still settled into the kind of the same pace as the medium pattern yesterday. I'm a little surprised by that. Backup ball at it.
Wow. My least favorite way to miss that. I feel her pain.
If I tried to throw a backup ball at my age, I think my wrist would just give up.
I always have a fear that I'm going to hit my ankle if I throw a backup
That's
ball.
a good
like
sign.
I'm
It swings in a good spot.
I guess, yeah.
Uh-oh. We should have a special play the rack as it lies, one frame. You have to bowl on what's left.
Yikes.
Can add that to the Peterson Classic. That'd be fun. This pair is still holding true to the toughest pair in the building from what I've watched the last 2 days. So we picked a good one to put the camera here for sure.
Very interesting. So Jenna just threw what I thought was a really good ball and it went a little high, but I think her ball speed for this pattern, like, I think she should have a good time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She just needs to line up. She'll be great.
Definitely. I'm sure it's a little, I mean, they made a pretty big jump here from last game, so they tend to get a little more hook in the front and tighter down lane as we go this way, plus you had a big weight, so you got to make a guessing game based on a couple of factors here. It makes it just that much tougher. We've already seen quite a few washouts here so far. go.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
great
good
for
move on
Skylar.
that spare.
I
Yeah.
think that's what she meant to do on her strike ball.
I think so too. Some reason it's so much easier to do it the second time around.
Yeah.
All
Well, it's
that-
really easy to pull it left today because they know
Yeah.
that if they miss right, their ball will not hook back.
Absolutely.
Kind of the opposite of what was going on first round yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing it over there. Yep. It's so hard to keep those shoulders quiet after you're so used to just, throwing it to the right and to pull those angles in without tugging it. That was a really good shot. Up the lane, looks like she moved her break point in a couple of boards down lane. That was a great move. Great shot.
Her dad was happy with that one.
Yeah, that is Jeff. Okay. A lot of talent in that family. Let's see what Taylor does here. Yeah, it looks like she added rotation, but she still tried to throw it out to that 7, 8, 9 range. I like less rotation and kind of trapping it at 10, 11 down lane.
Do you think these girls know how to manipulate their rotation like that?
I'm not sure. I mean, these are some of the best here in the country in this age division. I would think they have a pretty
Yeah, a
good
few of
idea
them
what's
can,
going
yeah.
on. Yeah, talking to Taylor's dad a lot. She's got a lot of tricks for sure. I'm sure Abigail's the same, Olivia too. But I mean, these are concepts when you're, you only bowl 5 games. It's not a lot of games, and you're trying not to get 6. It's tough to make those choices and trust yourself that fast.
Right. I love where Abigail's playing.
Yeah, that is ideal for sure.
And she put that, what was that? The phase
Phase
AI?
AI, I believe. Yeah. Can't
I think
tell
she put
what
that
she
on.
went into.
I think it was a black wall. It might be the pitch black or not pitch black, the physics blackout.
Okay.
We'll see next time she goes up.
We'll know. I have a feeling Allison's going to do the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, really good shot. Basically right up 10. That was a great shot. Keeping the angles tight. What do we have going on here? 45 and 6. So they're a whole game ahead on 45 and 6?
They are.
Okay. So a little further ahead in the transition too. Lefty, we haven't seen a lefty here in a while. Yeah, that's pretty similar to the theory I'd be doing that Josie's doing there. Rolling it with a bigger ball, playing it against the shim. That's smart.
Yeah, a little too far out the
Yeah,
break
I
point
just
there.
don't think you can shape it, especially on 47. You definitely can't get it back from there. I think she's making this. I feel like she's sparing this one. We broke the curse yesterday. I think she makes it.
I hope she makes it. So far, she's got a clean game going.
Yes,
Knock on wood.
Oh, for sure.
That was a good ball from Olivia. Might have been a little fast.
8 pin.
Oh,
great spare.
and she made
There we go.
it. That was great.
That was a good shot. All right, I want to see Taylor a little further left, a little more rolly with her hand here. Looks like she's going to.
Is that an IQ2
I
or
think
AI?
that's an IQ AI, yeah.
That was close.
Yeah, I like that. Little right down lane, but I like the ball change. I like what she did with her hand. I'm confident her rev rate is 100 higher than mine. She has
You think so?
insanely high rev rate.
It is.
Crazy. It's a good shot. I think you're right. I think that's physics blackout.
blackout.
Yeah, that's a really good lane play from her. Good shot.
And it shined up a little bit. That ball shines up fast. So that
Yes,
helps.
it does. Yeah. It is extremely difficult to get a double on this pair. They are so different lane to lane. Yeah, good spare. Do we have a score update after one?
Yeah, let me look. Let's see where we're at.
There we go. Girls are figuring out this pair now. It seems like straighter, rollier, but with a little bit cleaner of a ball. Seems like a good play here. So you can get it back from that 6, 7, 8 range if you're up the lane for sure, and with your hand up the back, but you cannot get it back from there shaping it today.
All right, who are we watching right now? Is this U15 girls?
I think it's U18, I believe.
Okay, yes, we are on U18 girls. So let's see. So we have Gianna Brandolino leading the U18 girl division at plus 33.
Wow.
So scores are not very high.
Definitely low.
Plus 33 is good. And then we got Dottie at plus 7, Mackenzie at plus 3, Allison, who is on this pair, on 48. She's at plus 2. Mabel Adams at 1. Brianna Archibald is at even, and Samantha Cirillo is at even.
Scores are definitely low.
Oh, actually, Samantha Cirillo is absent today. That's just a 0 because she's not here.
Oh. A few girls ball well on this pair.
Yeah, no super high scores, so anybody in the next 3 games can make a big jump.
Absolutely. I think you get away, you survive with 2-0s, 190s, games 1-2, and then when they open up, you shoot some big ones. I think we'll see some big games the last 2 games of the block. It's a great shot.
Yeah, once it starts breaking
Abigail
down.
there.
And then U18 boys, we have Levi at plus 84. Very good score there.
Yeah, great score.
Nick at plus 46, Braden McDonough at 41, Anthony Swanson 35, and Micah Jensen at plus 32. So that's
some scores
pretty
there.
close to.
It makes sense. Higher rev rate, usually tiltier ball rolls for the guys. Get in there and can get them back from where the girls can't.
If anybody watching would like a score update on a specific bowler, let us know. I will look it up for you. Otherwise, you can check it yourself at bullmetrics.com and just look for the 2025 SYC Michigan. Ooh, wonderful ball by Gabby there.
Definitely more room to the right on 48. That was a good messenger.
I
there.
love Taylor's celebrations.
Yeah,
That is so much fun.
These kids have a good time. Love it. They're good-spirited kids. They're all happy. No one's in the dumps. You love to see it. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of these kids had to wake up early to check out of their hotel room, so I'm sure they're starting to feel that mid-morning tiredness.
When we were doing the medal ceremony, there was more than one kid who looked like they were very tired. Late night.
Me included. I feel their pain.
So it looks like everyone is striking on the left lane and struggling on the right lane this game.
Wonder why. Let's see if we can notice like a pattern.
I would love to have a topography report for this pair. I'm going to have Royal Scott print me out one of those. Really good shot by Grace there. I love the booklets we get for the U.S. Open. We get the topography booklets for Woodland, and it's always fun looking at the pairs that are so different. I can only imagine what we would see here at Royal Scott with 26-year-old lane beds, 25-year-old lane beds.
I bet there is a few special lanes
There
out
are
here.
some special ones. These lanes were actually used at Nationals for 1 year, and then Royal Scott purchased them in 1999,
Oh wow.
and they've been in here. So they had an entire Nationals bolt on them and about 25, 26 years of use. So definitely, they've seen some shots go down the lane. Good spare.
That 610 is extremely choppable, but
It's
she
not
got
a
that.
fun spare at all. It's
I
your
think
favorite spare on 47, the 3610.
3610 shows up in my nightmares. And she's standing pretty narrow
She
to
is
that.
definitely standing to the right.
Oh, never mind. She drifts a lot. We're good.
Okay. There we go. Great spare.
I forget some people drift.
Yep.
Mine's only 2, so I just assume everybody else walks pretty straight.
Same. Mine's 2 also.
And that's a tip for any parents or coaches watching. Have your kids write down their drift in each zone. It's very different when you're throwing up 5 versus throwing up 20. Sometimes 5 is a lot more drift to the left, or if you're a lefty,
Yeah, that's great advice.
mark your drift.
It's not always consistent depending on what zone you're in. Absolutely. So I think Abigail's doing the right thing, but I'm not convinced that is the right ball. She's flat 10, I think, every shot on the right lane, but it looks great on the left lane. So maybe she can just do a little something different with her hand on the right lane. Which is weird because yesterday 47 was playing tighter down lane, and now it's 48. It's definitely switched.
We got the girls on 45 and 46 making a lot of spares. They're doing great. It is getting pretty hard to strike, so
This
doing
is
all they can.
definitely that transition time where you just
That awesome idle curl is shocking on this pattern too.
yeah. I like it on maybe on the left lane, but I don't think it'll get around the corner on the right lane. Unfortunate bad break too. I'm pretty sure that was a ball change.
It was.
The worst thing you want to see when you're changing balls. Yeah, we're starting to see 47 break loose way earlier now. I do wonder how much the lane sitting while they had the breakdowns, how much that flattened them out, made them a little tougher. Just the time of them settling in.
And they are following the U18 boys.
Yeah, that's
who
true.
are probably playing to the left of them.
Definitely.
I don't know if any of them know that.
Yeah, it's very, very possible.
It's always important to see who you're following, because then you probably need to make a different move depending on who you're following.
Austin, you are correct. I do not love the 247. But I made it on TV every time this year. So, I mean, hey, we're getting there. We're getting there.
And we have a fan of Abigail's in the chat. Let's see how she throws this ball. Aw, 2 fans.
Yeah, that ball's looking really good on 47. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, get out of there.
Oh, almost had a really nice break.
That's not the pin I thought was going to fall. Those
Not
two.
at all. Oh, that was a close spare on 45.
Well, thank you guys for coming in the chat and talking. Please ask us questions. We'd love to answer anything that you guys want to know. Great spare. Abigail there.
She throwing a pitch black at her spares?
That's definitely a urethane ball at the spares.
Yeah. That's impressive.
There you go. Great shot. Right lane.
She might have pulled that one.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a I am making sure this one does not go to the right shot.
Oh, and a fan of Jenna in the chat.
Nice.
She is up next on 45.
Austin, you're right. We spent a lot of time shooting spares last year. The Sunday night spare shooting practices paid off for sure.
Nice little Brooklyn for Skylar.
I think you get whatever you can get on that.
Yeah, she's
that
keeping her
lane
game
right
clean, so who cares?
Yeah, she's pulling great.
Jenna with a nice little Brooklyn.
There we go.
Comments in the comment section help bowlers bowl better.
That's
I
right.
don't know if you guys knew that.
Telling you, we need more of those comments. All right, let's see what Olivia does here. Look like a move, right? Yeah, just doesn't want to get up the hill over there.
If that was me, I would slow down a lot.
Yeah.
But she probably doesn't ever throw it much slower than
Sure,
she does
yeah.
now.
It seems like it's pretty slow off her hand, It's such a fine line between, too slow in the front hook. The key, you have to be long with your swing. That kind of allows you, the longer flat spot will allow you to throw it a little bit slower and not have it hook as soon as it touches the lane. I think maybe a little
That was a
slower.
terrible break for
Oh,
Grace.
no.
She did not deserve that at all. Oh, we have somebody watching for Josie Dumbrino. She's up right now. Our only lefty over here on the stream.
All the way from Alabama, wow.
And Jeremy asked if this is game 2. So we have game 3 on 45 and 46, and we have game 2 on 47 and 48.
Okay.
I know it's a little confusing.
A lot of patience required if you're going to hit 47 and 48 late in the day today.
Yeah, we already
Definitely
have,
need to be
I
patient.
think the next group of kids is already waiting for this parent
It's
thing.
tough. On tour, you'll see if there's a slow pair and, it's going to be a 10-20 minute wait, just one of our guys won't throw the fill ball until a minute before. You see that a lot.
That's
Just
interesting.
some form of staying loose. Good try if that's fair. That is very difficult to make. Still potential for 205 for Grace. She's bowling a good game on this pair.
Oh, Danielle was close on that spare.
That is such a difficult spare. I'm just getting PTSD from all of these spares that I know I definitely wouldn't make.
I know, I definitely would not want to be in their position today.
Yeah, just the same thing. She tried to add a little bit of rotation and just never saw it down the lane.
If I could tell Allison one thing, it would be to switch balls.
Yeah, I agree.
Not loving how that one's rolling at all.
So if you're say you're you have 50, 60 in the fifth frame and the pace is 190, 200 and you have absolutely no ball reaction, what is your first decision? I would tell you mine after, but
Okay, so for me, I would probably close my angles so my leaves aren't so bad. Like, I want to avoid splits at all costs. So if I can just get 9 or get 8 and make sure they're not splits, that's going to be what I want to do.
yeah, it's a great idea.
I don't want to throw a ball that if I miss a little, it's going to miss a lot down lane.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Just close my angles. Yeah, what would you do?
Is there ever a scenario where you just throw your spare ball at the head pin to save pins?
I actually did do that at the last tournament I bowled, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't bowl bad. I got 9.
Sure. Yeah,
But obviously, you're not going to carry corner pins with a
get
spare
9 a
ball.
lot. Yeah, same thing. I like closing the angles down, leaving something makeable, keeping it relatively makeable. And it looks like she did try to do that. She tried a couple of different balls there. And just so difficult.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
a certain
I'm-
point, if it's the lane being weird and
Yeah.
I can't figure out one lane, then I'm just going to, do my best and not let it freak me out.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to throwing the plastic ball at the head pin. A few shots on one bad lane for sure. Am I accurate enough to do it a whole game on both lanes? Definitely not. But I will do it for 1 or 2 frames if need be.
Yeah.
But like I said, on a sprint, a 5-game sprint, it's pretty difficult to make that decision. And she was in the cut, bowling well. She was 5th or 6th, Allison was after that game. Just a brutal long wait, brutal pair. And Skylar making it look easy.
Yeah. Keeping it clean does wonders. I mean, it's
It
really
sure
easy to bowl a
does,
2-0 when you don't have any opens.
Absolutely. I did see a clean 183 last night at the tournament I bowled.
Oh,
Yep, a lot of low count spares.
yeah.
But he made them all. Very impressive.
Honestly, an all spare game, a little more impressive than
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
alternative. That's
It
really
sure
hard to
is.
do.
Yeah, that 180 could have been 120 very easily.
These girls are eager to get off this pair.
Yeah, they are ready to go.
I'm happy. I think the girls on 45 and 46 there's a few going all right, but I think there's definitely a couple that are frustrated.
Yeah, I'm
Going
seeing
back to the parents going, how do I do this?
I'm seeing a little bit of that nearing the end frustration, the build up, finally starting to wear on a few people, and they're difficult. Last pattern being difficult, the U.S. Open loves to do that to us all the time too. Like, hey, you just struggled for 4 days. We're gonna put the hardest thing you've ever bowled on out now, and good luck.
Yeah, I want to try to struggle more.
Yeah. But these kids are way more emotionally mature than most of us on tour. So
Well, that's what
Good
I
to
was
see.
saying yesterday, because this is my first time ever watching an SYC or even doing the live stream.
okay.
And I said, these kids are so much more well behaved than adults.
They are extremely well behaved.
Because I have not seen a single kid hit something, throw something. I haven't even seen tears.
No, I haven't either. It's been, I'm not gonna act like bowling bags go unkicked from time to time, but
I might have kicked one.
a lot more frustration for the adults. They're
Yeah.
doing a really good job managing it. It's a good sign for the future.
Oh, did
Yeah,
Taylor move to
yeah, she tried to go
urethane?
with the urethane there and just figure something out. Not a terrible game. 170 is not too bad.
No, she only had 2 bad frames there. Nothing
like she got
to do about that.
a little trapped on that pair.
Olivia making a quick little ball change at the suggestion of her dad for the fill frame.
Yeah, that was a very well-earned 170 from her that game. She made a lot of tough spares.
Her dad just told her to move left with the same ball. So let's see
Good.
if
Yeah.
dad knows the secret.
My dad would like to think he knows all of my secrets, but Jeff's a little higher level bowler than my dad ever was, so I'm going to give him a pass.
Yeah, Austin said the entire round 2 he only saw one kid maybe hit their leg and no ball returns were kicked.
Hey, perfect.
It's very true. The ball returns
Great
are very
shot.
happy with these children. They are not being kicked.
Dad was correct.
Dad
that
was
ball
right.
went high flush. Great shot.
She'll probably move to the next pair and bowl really high.
I think the big scores are coming. I think we're getting past that transition stage, and they're going to get a little bit easier after this. Let's see if Abigail can catch a 3-bagger here. Great shot.
Yeah, absolutely love where she's playing.
Finally caught that strike on the right lane and took full advantage of it.
So just a reminder, 47-48 is finishing their second game. 45-46 is about to finish their third. She missed a little left on that one.
Yep, a little in. It's okay.
Only like a board at the arrows.
Yeah, there's no room going up the lane to miss.
That's what happens when it's so flat, you know. A board turns
Absolutely.
into a lot more boards down lane.
Sure does. Yeah, one board missed at the arrows turns into 3 or 4 at the break point.
Yeah,
for sure. But she made that was a great ball change, great lane play there to get 200 on a very difficult pair. A couple of great games.
I think she seems content with that,
Yeah,
but not
absolutely.
thrilled.
Yeah, not thrilled at all. But you know what? Good enough.
All right, now we have U15 girls moving on to this pair. They have also been waiting quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a while. Let's see how much this comes into play. I would assume these girls have a little bit lower rev rates, so I'm very interested to see how they play them. Morgan high from her boyfriend Evan. Which lane is Morgan on? She's on 49.
like we're having a lane issue again.
47 has been acting up on us today. So do you are you a re-racker? Do you like to re-rack a lot or
Never.
never?
Never.
Okay, interesting.
I didn't even know that people took re-racks until I started working at Storm, and
Wow.
there's a few of my coworkers that are they do that a lot.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I think I have the world record for the most times not striking after re-rack, so I tend to not take a re-rack.
Wow.
It just does, I don't know, it psychologically doesn't work.
Yeah.
If I'm worried about the rack, when I re-rack it, I'm going to be just as worried. And
Yep.
yeah, so I'm always interested to hear that from bowlers, 'cause I know plenty of the tour guys love to take the re-racks. Love the re-racks.
Yeah, I mean for league, we have one house that's a bit older, so when the pins
Okay.
get set down, they kind of wiggle, and sometimes like the 2-pin will move off spot. Those, if I notice, which is rare, I
Sure.
will re-rack, but very rare.
I'm very cognizant of it, but it's got to be a little ego thing too. Like, I'll just go a little lighter, a little heavier. No, you won't.
Yeah.
No, you won't. Oh, it looks like the curtain fell down. We're putting that back up.
Well, let's move this to a commercial break while we have 45 and 46 finishing up, and we will catch you back up on their scores here in a couple minutes.
Hello, welcome back to Storm. Brianna Cote is here with us, and we have a few of the most commonly missed spares or commonly left spares. I don't know if you missed them, they're pretty simple. There's a few that scare me, especially anything with a 3-6 combo, but we do have one of the most common for a righty is the 10-pin setup. So we're gonna have you walk us through your process and see how you would attack a single pin corner.
All right, so everyone's favorite pin if you're a right-hander, the 10 pin. So for me, I am a lower rev player, so I tend to leave 10 pins quite often. So for me, my general way of shooting it is I do line up with the tip of my shoe. That's where I like spot where I'm gonna stand. So I like to stand on 30, and I'm looking about like 17. I will probably hit a little bit left of that because I tend to hit left of what I look at because I'm left eye dominant. So if you do know what eye you are dominant with, that does help in your alignments. So I'm going to stand on 30. That's what I'm going to look at. And we are going to try to knock down this pesky 10 pin. Perfect. And as you can tell, I do drift a little bit. So I drifted, about 6 boards to the left. That's just my natural drift. I know that when I bowl, and I knocked it down. So the spare ball did its job.
So you made that look pretty easy.
Ooh.
Now we're getting a little bit tougher. So it's probably the most commonly left multi-pin non-split spare that scares me to death. It's my worst one.
It scares me too.
Yeah, so how would you go about picking up the 3-6-10?
Okay, so 3-6-10, I don't love this spare. I think most of you guys don't love this spare. There's so many ways to miss it, chop it, miss it, however you want to call it. So for me, I do use my plastic ball or my spare ball to shoot this. So a little bit of the same concept is where I shot the 10 pin. Since I have more pins that are a little bit closer to the center, I do move a little bit to the right. So instead of standing 30, I'm gonna move to about 27, and I'm still gonna keep my eyes about 17. So I'm just moving my feet a little bit closer to the pin that's closest to me. And I'm gonna hopefully hit the 3 and the 6 and the ball take out the 10. Woo! I was a little worried on that one, but the ball did its job. In the future, I would probably make a little bit of an adjustment. I would probably move just a little bit closer to it, a little bit further right for me, since I barely clipped that, get a little bit closer to the 3 pin, and hopefully they knock them down, but hopefully I don't leave it next time.
That looked pretty easy.
Kinda.
3-6-10.
Kinda, I was
okay.
sweating a little bit.
Yep. Here's another multi-pin spare that's pretty common, the 2-8.
Yes.
So do you have the same strategy or a different strategy with hook versus
a little bit of
strike?
different strategy. So I'm not going to use my plastic ball. I'm going to use
Okay.
my strike ball. And so the 2-8 looks kind of easy, but then it's kind of tough. So for me, it's not one that I love to shoot. A little bit I prefer it more than 3-6-10. But for me, I will start basically where I'm throwing my strike ball. So for purposes of right now, what I'm bowling on, I was standing on 20 and I was looking more so about like 10. So I'm probably hitting closer to 12. So I left the 2-8. I'm like, okay, so now I need to get my ball to hook a little bit more. So my general rule of thumb when I leave a 2-8 is I'm gonna move to the right about 4 boards, and I'm gonna move my eyes about 1 right. So just get over there, try to get to the friction, and hopefully the ball hooks perfectly into that 2-8. So like I said, I was on 20, so I'm gonna go 4. So that's gonna get me to about 16. I'm gonna move my eyes 1. And perfect. So that was how I would normally shoot a 2-8. Obviously, if I were to miss it one way or the other, I would adjust accordingly.
Well, you're 3 for 3, pressure's on.
I know, it's getting harder.
Now, here's another one of my favorites, the washout. So multi-pin, got a little bit of space in between. How do you attack this one?
Definitely, so the washout is tricky. There's multiple ways that people like to shoot at this one. Some people like to hook it, so just like I shot the 2-8, some people will kind of shoot it that way. Some people will go all the way to the left, maybe try to hit the 1-2. For me, I try to just kind of keep it simple to where I would normally shoot like a 2-4-5. So I generally line up about 21, and I'm going to look at about 18, 19, and hopefully hit the left side of the head pin so it takes out the 10 pin and doesn't wrap it, which I think is one of the worst breaks in bowling. So we're gonna give it a go.
Oh!
Oh, we did it. Thank you, sidewall.
All right, 4 for 4.
Whew, thank
Now,
you, sidewall.
You said that this is one of the most common splits that a right-hander would leave, the 4-9.
Yes, definitely. So we have the 4-9 here, and it's like your ball just went a little bit too high. Maybe you leave a 4-pin, maybe you leave a 9-pin, but sometimes, unfortunately, you leave both of them. So we gotta try to make it. So obviously, to make the 4-9, for someone with not a lot of power, you need to slide the 4-pin into the 9. So doing so, I'm going to stand generally where I normally stand when I shoot a 7-pin. So I'm going to stand about 19, and I'm gonna look at 21 and try to get angle going this way. So I'm kind of taking this part of the lane out of play, using my spare ball. Hopefully hooks a little, just enough to nick the 4 and take out the 9. Oh, we got it.
Okay, Brianna, 5 for 5, very impressive. I'm quite impressed today. That was awesome.
Thank you. Lots of practice. So definitely lots of practice with spares. I recommend that everyone shoot their spares when they're practicing, just to get a feel for what your system is. It may not be the same as mine, but hopefully I gave you some guides to help you get better at your spares and maybe what to do when you encounter those difficult spares. So good luck.
I learned a lot. We hope you did too. And remember to always bowl up the storm. Hello, welcome back to Storm. Brianna Cote is here with us, and we have a few of the most commonly missed spares, or commonly left spares. I don't know if you missed them. They're pretty simple. There's a few that scare me, especially anything with a 3-6 combo, but we do have one of the most common for a righty is the 10-pin setup. So we're going to have you walk us through your process and see how you would attack a single pin corner.
All right, so everyone's favorite pin if you're a right-hander, the 10 pin. So for me, I am a lower rev player, so I tend to leave 10 pins quite often. So for me, my general way of shooting it is I do line up with the tip of my shoe. That's where I like spot where I'm gonna stand. So I like to stand on 30, and I'm looking about like 17. I will probably hit a little bit left of that because I tend to hit left of what I look at because I'm left eye dominant.
All right, hello everybody. We are going to get Mike to give us an update about 47 and 48. Let's switch it over to him.
The mechanical staff here at Royal Scott, who does an excellent job, was able to get underneath the pin setter, took care of it. We're going to give each bowler 2 shots to get loose since they had to wait such a long period of time. And then we should be back underway.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Now that we have our microphone set up, we might be able to ask some of these girls how they're mentally handling that big weight.
Nice. I'm not gonna lie, I would be not thrilled, but
At least they're getting shots of warm up. I
Yeah,
think that
definitely.
helps a lot because now they get to see, how the lanes are
Absolutely.
playing.
Yep.
So it's a little trade off.
Hope at least one of those 2 shots is a high quality and you get a good look at what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Tough weight.
They'll have to clear these scores because they didn't set up practice. So we might have a little wait after this, but not long.
Looks like we have the U12 boys on 45 and
Yes,
6.
we do have the U12 boys, and we have Aaron, and I think his nickname is Bam Bam.
Yeah, Aaron throws it unbelievable.
Something fun I learned about him yesterday, which some of our viewers might already know about him, but nobody has ever taught him how to bowl.
Wow.
His two-handed style, he just saw pros like you and Belmo throw the ball, and this is what he does all on his own.
Yeah, he's very impressive.
So good. For how
There's no coaching. That's
small
crazy.
and young he is, he throws that ball so fast.
He gets those feet moving.
Oh my gosh, he throws the ball faster than I do. That thing says,
It's
is that
fast.
15 or 16 miles an hour?
Yeah, that's I
Wow.
think 16. That's very fast.
So impressive.
Oh, these kids are extremely impressive. These U12 guys. They would have
Mhm.
mopped the floor with me at that age.
Something fun
That's a good
about the
shot by
U12
Brent.
boys, which you guys can't see on camera, but right off to the side, they are having so much fun over here because
They
they're
are,
all
yeah.
like best friends.
Yeah. They're just loving it. Yep, they're having a good time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Good
Today's
spare.
youth are built different.
They are definitely built different.
All right, we're clearing the scores real quick, then we'll reset the lanes, and then 47-48 will begin their third game. And it is the U15 girls, right?
I think that's right. Good Brooke. Good Brooke on there. I love the mannerisms of these the little kids. They're so funny.
I know, they're having such a great time.
They are.
And a few of them are going really well while having a great
Yeah,
time.
bowling great. Just chilling, laying back in the
Awesome.
chairs. This is great. They're awesome. Really good double there by Brent. 2 great shots in a row.
All right, here's Lauren. She's going to start. I see 2 Ion Maxes down on that rack.
Throwing some bigger balls, yeah.
Much, much different balls than the girls previous were throwing. So let's see if the look is any better, worse,
A
the
lot of,
same.
looks like all the other girls are paying attention. It's very smart. Get all the intel you can after a break like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Too bad. Like Taryn's starting a little further left than the other girls on this pair so far.
Wow,
Wow. Yeah.
that is such a
It's a good
steep
shot.
entry angle. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Just kind of getting that, throwing it in the oil, getting the bigger ball to burn up in front of the head pin. I like that idea. It's fun watching all the different strategies. I mean, with patterns like this, you can play these multiple angles. There's no right answer. There's a few wrong answers, but there's no real perfect answer what you should be doing. Especially, all the different age groups moving through the pairs, breaking them down differently, completely different power levels and strengths. You just mix bag. No real easy, consistent transition to follow.
I think I might try and grab Taryn's dad, who's standing over here, because I'm interested to know what they were talking about before this game. There was some
Okay.
crazy strategies. I'm going to go grab him.
Yeah, all right. Good spare there by Alyssa on 47. Let's see what Ruth does on 48 here. Okay. So I would take 9 on that. U12 boys are making it look easy on 45 and 6 right now. A lot of speed and rev rate. Oh. As the fourth 4-9 I've seen in a game and a half on 47.
All right, so let me switch this camera over. I am here with Taryn's dad, Joe, in the booth right here. And Joe, I saw you talking to your daughter before. She had quite a big break, and right out the gate, perfect strike. So I just want to know kind of how she's feeling, the strategy, any tips that you told her, what you noticed before she started, just anything. Let us know.
So we had a bit of a struggle the second game, so this break was actually good for a huge reset. So we tried to get back to the good mental outlook, make a move because we knew they were going to be hooking a little bit more down here with the friction the older girls were making. So we just moved left to try to use the hold in the middle of the lane and have some good energy for a big double.
Yeah, she's throwing it great right now. This is like, we noticed some of the older girls were throwing a bit weaker balls standing to the right, but she's throwing a really big ball in the middle. It seems like a great strategy.
They're beginning to really break down on the outside. The track seems to hook a lot here when the oil starts to go away, so you almost need to get left with, I mean, the bigger ball works for some people and not for others, but it seems to work really good at getting down the lane with the oil right now, so hopefully we can keep it going.
Well, awesome. Thank you for answering my questions. We hope she does really well. It looks great. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, really good insight. Great strategizing.
Yeah, her look is amazing. All right, let's get this camera back on the girls. And we got the boys down there too.
I love the kids making fun of Dad taking pictures of him while he's in the booth.
Yeah, Tara was down there taking photos of her dad getting interviewed.
Dad's a celebrity now.
So fun. Looks like we got a couple score corrections going on.
I think the 9-pin fell on 47, and it's supposed to be a 4-9 up on there. Yeah.
Oh, we hate resetting
Yeah.
splits.
Let's just wish that
What
maybe
a
they set something
bummer.
else easier up to shoot.
And again, for anybody still watching, if you have any questions or want to know specific updates on scores for a kid, just let me know and I can look those up. Or you can go to bullmetrics.com and search for SYC Michigan 2025 and the scores will all be there.
Some really great shots by the U12 boys on 45 and 6 there. I was saying when you went to grab her dad, they're just making it look easy.
Yeah, there's so many
power,
strikes.
all that power.
We got 3 clean games on 45. This is my first time watching Nolan Bowl. We saw his sister earlier. Wow.
That's just not fair.
Throws the ball so
So
good.
much speed and awesome form. I'd like to wish like my glory days of youth bowling looked like that, but they
I know.
definitely did not.
I think I would have had a lot more fun bowling as a kid if I was that
Absolutely.
good.
100%. That was more of a let's just run and throw it as hard as we can, and where it goes is a mystery for most of my youth career.
Mine was a lot of missing corner pins. My dad always had to go, you're just going to practice 10 pins for 30 minutes, nothing else.
Yep.
Looks like
there we go.
Lauren's following the same strategy
Yeah,
that Taryn is.
Very smart. Always give a look around, and if you're struggling, take a look at what the good bowlers are doing that are striking and get as close to them as you can. It's worth a
Haley's
look.
got the same ball here too. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, this is some good strategizing by everyone on the pair.
Yeah, they're all standing in different places, obviously, because their speeds and rev rates are different.
Yep.
But they're all hitting about the same break point with the same ball.
Yeah,
Looks
very
great.
similar ideas. Yeah, Jana right there.
We got
too.
Taylor here
Perfect.
cheering on the younger girls. She must
Great
be bowling
shot.
well down there.
Oh, get it.
Yeah, that was a good ball from
Yeah,
Lauren. Just a
that was
little
good
light.
shot.
But their strategy here is much better than what we've seen
Yeah,
at
agreed.
all today.
Yeah, they've definitely.
Breakdown must be helping, I guess.
Sure. Gave them some time to reset and take a breather. Yeah, very smart.
How would you try and pick this up on 47, or would you just try to get one?
Yeah, this is a 1 for me.
A
Yeah.
one.
This is like a makeable spare for Kevin McCune. He makes it all
Oh,
the time.
God, I bet he does.
All the time.
Because what, he throws it like 21 miles an hour?
It's so fast. So fast.
So fast.
Yeah, I'm getting 1 here. It's unfortunate, but
Oh my gosh, Trevor Mason just picked up the washout the
great
hard way.
spare.
Well, the hard way for me. Some people do pick it up that way.
Sometimes, depending on the game, I go for 0, try a ball out. I mean, usually if I'm leaving a
On 47,
4-6,
really?
Yeah, if I'm leaving a 4-6, it's probably, if it's not a terrible shot, obviously. It might be worth the 1 pin to lose the 1 pin, but maybe not in a 5-game block. Maybe not.
Well, as close as these girls are, 1 pin might matter, but you know,
Absolutely.
if somebody was like 50, 60 pins ahead, that
Yeah,
1 pin might
worth
not
a
matter.
shot. Yeah. Another good shot there by Jana. They are crushing this pair. I figured they would get start getting a little bit easier. You get past that transition game, but they are making it look
Ooh.
really good.
I think she got that out right
Yeah,
a little
I agree.
early.
Yeah, I'm shocked that it did that. But a little slower speed with that big ball. It's okay though. Good 7. An advantageous spot too, putting them close together. That is my favorite kind of spot on the when I leave a 2-4-7.
Yeah, look, that 3 pin just scooted a little over. Or is that the 9 pin a little left? I think it's the 9 pin a
It
little
could
left.
be left.
Or not 9 pin, 6 pin.
So we actually have on tour, if the rack picks it up and spots it oddly, you can request to have it put back on spot.
Really?
That does happen. But if it's like this, I'm shooting that all day.
Oh, yeah.
Way less choppable for me.
I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to chop the 10 off that.
And she nailed. She would have made that no matter where it was spotted.
That was
Great
good.
spare. So I got listed a little further right than everybody else there.
Her
but
ankle's just a bit wide.
Yeah, just a touch. A little too steep through the front.
Wow, Trevor Mason just split the something on 45. That was a crazy little break.
He looked a little shocked about that.
Yeah.
They're striking, doing well striking. Brennan is bowling a great game over there.
Wow.
Good spare right here. A lot of relief on that one. That could have went either way. Good spare by him.
One of the fun things about watching youth bowlers is that you really get a grasp on the differences in the arsenals. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
the balls, you can tell bigger differences in the kids and how they're performing.
100%.
Because sometimes the pros just make every ball look good and they
Sure.
make every ball look like they hook a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point.
So this is fun
honestly.
to watch.
Yeah, the slower you get in the ball speed and the rev rate, you really seeing these ball differences. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're seeing it. You're drilling a lot of balls recently too.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to make them look very close together, but you can definitely see the wide changes in their arsenals with slow speed. It's a good point.
Ooh, a little out.
It's always
But
tough
she
when
got
I'm
the 10 out.
giving advice to youth guys, and like it's so relative to how you bowl. What I would
100%.
see the ball do compared to what somebody else would.
Sometimes I'll see my coworkers at Storm throwing a ball that hooks a lot for them, and then I know that ball is going to hook even more for me. So do I want it? Do I not?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so hard to know, and then depending on your layout can change that too. Yeah, Austin, I think we would all improve if we threw it as good as these kids, for sure. It's a scary thought to know that they're going to be beating me in like 6 years or 2 years.
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
what?
thinking about that earlier
Hopefully
too.
I'm nice and retired by then, so that'll be okay.
Not in 2 years.
I mean,
Oh, Brennan barely
That's a good
got
spare.
that spare. Keeping it
Close
clean.
enough. There we go.
His game is higher than some of the U18 boys right now.
Yeah, he's
Brennan
balling
is
great.
killing it.
I think that's just a little too responsive of a ball from Alyssa there. It's okay. See if you can pick up this spare. It's a little bit easier to make this spare on this pattern than on the medium pattern yesterday.
For sure. Looks like she is going to throw plastic at it.
Nice.
Hmm.
Oh. I couldn't tell. Was that a miss right?
Well, her
Couldn't
break
see
point was a little left.
Okay.
Oh, I was afraid that was going to
Yeah,
happen.
that is a tough spare with a plastic ball from that
I
angle.
feel like, yeah, you would have to have a really, really wide angle to pick that up with a plastic ball.
Definitely.
Because if you hit it straight on, it's just the ball's just going to deflect if you don't throw it
Yeah,
fast enough.
absolutely. Yeah, you have to be so much more perfect when you're slower. Absolutely. Kind of get away with a little bit more when you're throwing it 20 miles an hour at the spare. It's a good spare there.
Yeah, that's really odd. I'm not sure what happened that frame to Lauren. I'll have to watch the next frame. Got Trevor on 46. Wow.
Little-
You know, I'm impressed you can bowl with that much hair because
Man, I'm telling you, I was just wondering that.
I feel like I'd be blind.
He doesn't even have it thrown back, too. It's
No,
just
it's
just
all
out
up in there.
Yeah.
I got to pull my hair back because it bothers me.
I used to have it about to eye level. My
Mm.
hair grown up, and I wore a hat. There's no way I could bowl with it
Yeah.
any further. It's wild.
He's just too good. Not even
Hey,
bothered.
That's right. Doesn't matter. Love the way he shoots his spares. The knuckleball, end over end.
Joseph has the beginnings of like a really, really nice form there.
Yeah, I like that. Curving the urethane ball in the
Yeah.
47 feet. That's impressive.
Oh.
There's a lot of different ways to get it done. You don't have to have a big power game and a high rev rate.
Sometimes if you do the opposite thing really well, it might work.
Yeah,
It might
absolutely.
work. Oh, wow. Looked like Nolan got that about a bit too far to the right.
Definitely looked steep through the front for sure. That is a hard spare.
Yes. Lots of ways to chop a single pin off that.
That was a
Or to lead.
way better shot from Lauren there.
Yeah, it was.
She a little longer at the release.
I don't know what ball Ruth is
Yeah, I
throwing.
think it's a little too shiny.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking too.
A little too shiny of a ball. I like what she's doing with her hand when trying to roll it. I just think that ball just missing the window a little bit through the front. Oh, I dropped the 9-pin. Oh. I don't need that pin anyway. Easier
dropped
to
the
make
9-pin?
without it. Yeah, it's the rake is dropping the 9-pin on 47. I noticed that. Austin, if you pay me enough, I mean, I'll definitely be a babysitter for you. I gotcha. P.S. When are you coming into work? We're gonna put you to work over here, Austin. Austin's one of the managers here at Royal Scott, so one of my best friends coming in to be mean to me like always.
Wow.
Great
Jaina,
shot.
that was
Yeah.
such a good ball.
Jaina's getting her ball through the pins.
Oh, I didn't even
Very
notice how
good.
high her game was. She has the front three, and then a split, and then striking the fifth. So That could be a really, really good game.
ball motion for sure.
Austin will be here at 2:30, he says.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
All right, Bam Bam up on 46. Everybody watch how he throws the ball. Again, he has never been coached. His parents did not teach him to throw the ball like this. It's just something he's absorbed from watching the pros on TV. Amazing.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely amazing.
pretty good. Looks like he's having some finger problems. That's the 4th or 5th time he's come by and held the finger.
His open in the 5th was a 10 pin, and I noticed he took. Wait, hold on. What frame was that? It was his open in the 8th. He like took a step and then waited, and then went again. So I don't. Yeah, might be having finger problems.
Interesting. All right, he's over here. All right, let's see what Taryn's move is off the 7 count and last shot on 47.
Didn't her ball go? Was it high?
Yeah, she had 3-6-10, I believe.
Hopefully she doesn't overcorrect. I am a
agreed, yep.
big overcorrector
Absolutely.
when something like that happens.
Yeah, I think it was just to get it to the friction a little bit too quick, so just throw a
Looks
good
like
shot
she
here.
moved her feet
It
left
does, yeah, it definitely looks like she
a lot. Oh yeah, she's too far left. Oh,
Oh,
I take
way
it back.
there.
I take
Wow,
it back.
perfect.
I'm so sorry. I take
You
it
know
back.
what? The kids are smarter than us.
Oh my
That's
God.
okay.
Why am I here? That was amazing.
That was a good shot. That was a big move.
Wow.
I was a little shocked.
She's just so tight to the pocket down.
Yeah,
range.
using that head oil to just kind of push it there and using the strength of the core to get it to just burn up and get in front of the head pin. Good strategy.
Wow, we have Brennan
Yeah,
on
Brennan's
45.
balling. Great game.
This is the highest game over here I have seen so far. Did Alyssa just switch balls?
I think that was a ball change, yeah.
That looked great.
Brennan's just playing him excellent right now.
Wow.
Very good. Great lane play, great game.
Joseph with the sad little walk back.
He's got his
And he's
spirits
still
up still.
smiling.
He's smiling. That's okay. Bowling is very relative. Just because somebody's bowling a great game on your pair, it's not always easy to handle when you're struggling and someone's doing great. Especially same hand. Happens all the time.
Ooh, almost a messenger for
Yeah,
Brennan.
it's a
That'll
great
put him at 245. Wow, I'm gonna look up the scores. He's got to be leading.
Yeah, it shows
After
he's
that.
42 over now, I think. So he's a little minus and then threw a great game. Great comeback.
Wow. Yeah. So that game puts him at 42 over.
Awesome.
The closest to that was a +3 by Trevor Mason, who could bowl 213.
Yeah, Trevor's bowling a good game.
So that'd put him right above Trevor. I mean,
Oh,
but
wow.
the top 5 U12 boys are pretty close after game.
Yeah, it's pretty
3.
tight so far. That was a brutal stuff 7-pin by Aaron on the left lane.
Oh, I think
Just a little in.
Trevor
It's okay, though.
knew that was going to happen.
It's all right. Pick up your spare. No pins lost. Nothing wrong with that.
Mom is assuring Trevor that it was a good ball.
Yeah,
Just
good
go.
shot. All right, good spare by Kylie. Yeah, let's see if the ball change is good for Alyssa on the right lane.
That's an RC hyperdrive.
That is a hyperdrive.
That's why it looks so good going
That
down
ball
the
got
lane.
back from way out there. Great ball change.
Oh, I'm so glad she switched balls.
Oh no. Joe is so funny walking around here. He's in such good spirits after that game.
Oh,
good
pin
pin
spot
action
on that
there
one.
for Lauren. Got a score correction up here. It's a really good shot. I'm not seeing a lot of those light mixers carry. I'm seeing a ton of the blower 7-pin, blower 10-pin for the lefties, a lot of those hits.
Yeah.
Your ball is just coming in those weird angles on the long pattern. Really tough to get those hits.
It was especially hard since a lot of these girls are throwing 14 or 13.
Yeah, right. Tough to get the energy transfer, the ball to the pins. I throw a lot of 16, especially with urethane, a lot of 16-pound urethanes.
Really?
Just to get the little extra off hits, yeah. I'm pretty much exclusively on tour 16 pounds. Not with the reactives, but definitely with the urethanes. Another good shot by Jaina. She's got a good command of the pair here for sure.
That's been happening to Kylie a little bit. She's just
it
missing
is,
out. I think if she moved parallel left, she might be less afraid to miss.
Agreed, yeah. It looks like she's fighting some physical problems. They just want to kind of throw the shoulder at it, which she's so scared to miss to the right. It's pretty understandable. Usually that's what happens. You grab one or you just miss it where you don't want to miss it. Your body has a tendency to do those things.
We had a lot of really good games on 45 and 46. Had a 187 from Brent, 168 from Aaron, and a 245 from Brendan Brandel. And a 2-0 from Trevor Mason, 174 from Nolan Randisi, and a 98 from Joseph.
Tough game for Joseph there. I think we're going to...
He handled a 98 better than I would ever handle a 98.
Great. He got my respect for sure. I think we're going to continue to see the scores go up, especially. I think we're going to developing a little more hold. There's getting a little more recovery down lane. And we saw, I think it was Alyssa get the one back from 3 down lane, which, I mean, 8's been out of bounds today, so that was a really good sign.
Oh, that's a little wide, but it might come back. Almost came back.
Yeah, slowed down enough to get to the head pin.
Yeah, so when patterns are this flat, I mean, so those last 3 shots, if this was a house shot with a higher ratio, they all would have struck.
Yeah, every single one of them.
But she really is only missing by a board or 2 at the max, and it just does so much different down lane.
So difficult.
Hopefully she knows that. She is doing it really
absolutely.
well.
Oh, lay there. Oh.
Yeah, I would have set my square ball at that.
Definitely. Or I would have curved at it, missed it, and been mad at myself. But, you know.
She is right now.
Yeah.
Understandable. Oh, that's a good ball from Jaina. Yep.
Yeah, really good shot. It's so hard to keep your composure, you know, when you have a decent game going, you throw one bad shot, you cannot let it carry over to the second ball.
Oh, that might be really good.
She has so much more miss room since the ball change.
Yeah, crazy what a matched up ball will do.
Absolutely. You cannot out-bowl bad ball reaction. That's not just a saying, it is a fact. It's a great shot by Ruth
getting
there.
a strike.
There we go. Some celebrations by Dad in the back.
Dad happy about that one.
Yeah, good shot. Seen a lot of kids with headphones on today. Would you like to listen to music while you bowl?
I did that one time and I bowled so incredibly terrible.
Oh, okay. All right.
So no, I do not listen to music anymore.
Fair enough.
Because I feel like when I listen to music, I'm not focusing.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that. I like to do it beforehand, but as soon as we get to the center, I like the silence.
Yeah, when I step up on the approach, like I don't hear anything. Like some child could be screaming and I'm not hearing it. So if I got music on, it kind of just, then I start hearing things.
Yeah, it's like a background. Yeah, I agree with that.
Not focused.
I used to do it all the time until I started to, bowl at a higher level, and then all of a sudden, the last thing I wanted was more noises going on in my head than what's already in there. And that's okay. That was a really big miss, and she got 9. She's playing the right part of the lane for that. It's funny, there's 4 straight 9 counts from 47 to 50, and it's 4 different pins. That was crazy.
Yeah, throwing lightweight balls with these girls that don't have a ton of speed, 9 counts are extremely common.
Absolutely. Hopefully we get 4 spares here. There you go. Texas
good.
Great spare by Kylie there.
I would be terrified to pick up this 5-pin if I was her.
Yeah, that's not a fun one to shoot. I'm throwing plastic at that
Yeah.
100 times out of 100.
Because if she had thrown it the same way, she would have missed to the left, but she got
That's
it.
good. Yeah, easy.
I think they all covered their 9 counts.
They did. Love to see it. A lot of clean frames here. A little left. It's all right. Got 9 out of that.
That started revving up
Yes,
a little
it did.
early.
This is something that the kids coming to this pair should definitely be keeping an eye on, because Alyssa is getting balls back from places that they should not be getting back from. So
Yeah, that's
definitely something to
interesting.
keep an eye on.
Some of the kids could move, ball back up.
Yeah, it was ball back up
Change
and
their
right,
angles.
which is very interesting late in the day. I mean, you as a bowler, you have to be an artist. You have a paintbrush. You want to be an artist more than an engineer. You need to be willing to change on the fly and adapt, rather than have a set structure of how things should go.
The only thing I would be worried about playing where Alyssa's playing is that she's crossing so much traffic
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we're getting into game 4. I'd be worried about what I was crossing.
For sure, especially throwing that big of a ball.
Yeah, that might have been what happened on 48. I mean, the ball started revving up too early, which didn't happen the frame before.
Sure.
Oh,
good.
pins were almost nice to her.
Do we know what group is coming to this pair next?
I think it's the U15 boys.
Okay. I would love to see them left of 20 at the arrows. I think it's time to get in there to the fresh oil in the heads and play that hold.
Yeah, closer to where Taryn is, but
Yeah.
further left.
Absolutely, and just kind of let this traffic be your misroom to the right.
Yeah, that would be nice for the guys if they do that.
Easy in theory, may not work, but good spare there. Putting together a really good game on this pair. Bon Jovi is my favorite band, Tony. See, I see we shouldn't let my friends in the chat. They just love to raise me, and
Yeah, popular guy in the chat.
hey, I have some good friends.
Who else has some Justin Knowles facts we can put in the chat? Let's get that active.
Oh no. There's a really good story of why Bon Jovi music is played in my strike songs on TV, but only my close friends know that story.
No.
That's a really
Oh,
good
she
spare
picked
line
that up.
move
That was
there.
great.
She moved a little left to shoot that. Found that head oil. It looked great. I do not pour my milk before my cereal. That is untrue.
Well, I do that.
You do?
Yeah.
That is devious behavior.
Milk is more expensive. I'm not trying to waste it, so I'm going to pour how much milk I want and then cereal accordingly.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
You're the only person I've ever heard that does that.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm pretty sure I'm lactose intolerant, but I love
I am too.
everything that dairy stands for, so it makes for a fun time.
Tony, let's hear the facts. We're going to
Great
get some
spare
facts in
from
the
one.
chat.
Great spare. Oh, Tony.
Oh, Taryn, that was a really good ball. Stomped
good
that
shot.
one down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she
Smart
needed that
moves,
strike
just
for a
keeps
good game.
migrating to the left to the fresh head oil and playing the hold. Really, really smart lane play.
We have Emma Inagi from Hawaii on 49, which you can
Wow.
see to the very, very right of your screen. She's just about to throw a ball.
What a trip from Hawaii all the way here.
She might be the furthest person to travel.
Mayo on a hot dog is elite.
That That doesn't sound too bad.
It is
It's
incredible.
not crazy.
With hot sauce and relish, that is a. You're welcome, Storm SYC viewers, for that. Give it a shot this weekend in your Memorial Day celebrations.
Might try that out.
Yeah, good spirit by Jaina. Putting a great game together. And you're starting to see it now in 48. They are getting balls to hook from 3-4, and now they're overhooking. So they have blown up a hook spot on that pair.
Ruth struck on this lane last time. It looked really
She did,
great.
yeah.
Let's see if she can do it one more time. Be good to have in this 9th frame.
Absolutely.
A little right. Ball
A little too
did
shiny
try
to
to
get.
come back.
Yeah, it tried. It definitely wants to. I think that ball's a little too clean. But as much as she rolls it, I'm sure she's probably having a hard time keeping a bigger core ball straighter. That is a fact, Austin. I have a talent for doing that, and I don't know how. Good shot by Kylie there. When you know, you know, Austin. When you know, you know.
All right, we got the U15 boys starting their last game on 45 and 46. Again, the left pair is a game ahead, 2 games ahead of these
Carter
girls.
looks shocked that that ball did not hook. I'm assuming the last pair they were on hooked a lot because that is a very shiny ball. I can spare by Kylie there.
Riley's kind of in the same part of the lane
Yeah.
as Taryn is.
Yeah, I think that's the necessary place to be right now.
Let's see. Taryn can strike out for a 223.
Do you have a spare shooting strategy? Do you have a certain thing that you do consistently, or is it more pattern specific? Or
So my strategies are I'll get harassed. So I don't
Fair
have like a mathematical strategy like my friends from Weber have.
Sure.
Like they have patterns that they do every
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Since I throw a plastic ball, I just look at the reflection of the pin in
Okay.
the lane and shoot straight at it.
Let's do it by feel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't tend to miss them. The only ones I have a strategy for is like the 310.
Okay.
That one I throw my strike ball and I just look at my 10 pin and hook at it. But I'm sure if my eyes are always in the same spot. My feet are always in the same spot, but it's not like I don't look at the arrows
Okay.
for those.
I shoot every left side spare from the same place, and I shoot every
Really?
right side spare from the same place with the plastic ball, yeah. And then I just move my eyes accordingly. Yeah.
I stand within the same like 4-board area,
Okay.
but yeah, it doesn't
Yeah, I
vary
used to
much.
do that too, but my ADD liked to make me forget where I was standing. So, I was like, you know what, let's just make a home here and keep things simple.
Yeah.
You
I think
guys
as long as you follow the same system
Yeah.
and they're
As long as it's
consistent, doesn't
consistent.
matter. But
everyone shoots them differently. A lot of guys like to shoot their 7 pins, the righties, right up the left side of the lane, right up 5
I've
on the
seen
left,
that.
which is crazy.
That scares me.
But I mean, if that's your system, if that's what works.
I have been picking up the 210 or the 410 that way.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Whatever works. It's
I do more spare experimenting or split experimenting during league because I don't really care. But
Yep, you just
yeah,
do
in
it,
tournaments, it's always the same.
Yep. It's anything to keep it consistent. Same pre-shot routine, same spare routine, all that stuff. Yeah.
Austin said that you're guaranteed to go to Taco Bell after, which we talked about earlier.
That is
Also my post.
That's what I'm known for sure.
Yeah. What's your order?
Right now it's been cheesy bean and rice burrito, 3 cheese chicken flatbread melt, spicy potato soft taco, and Baja
that's
Freeze.
one of mine.
Yeah,
That's a good order.
it's got to be consistent. You have a problem when young kids that you mentor give you Taco Bell gift cards for your birthday.
I would love that. That's amazing.
Yes, I do. I've definitely been to every Taco Bell in Michigan. That is guaranteed. Let's
That's a
Get
good
the
spare
spare
there.
here.
Oh my gosh, I think I
Oof,
just jinxed her.
That spare
I
ball
thought she had
picked
it.
up at 30 feet and started to roll.
It's a white spare ball. So,
shocked at
never
that.
know if that's why.
White balls do hook earlier and more overall. That is true.
I used to have a white spare ball and it picked up.
Wow.
And now the one I have is black and it don't move at all.
Yeah, I have the Roto Grip Juster, and that is the straightest spare ball I've ever thrown in my life.
Yeah, that one's going to go dead straight. I think all polyballs go dead straight.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, so we got 222 by Taryn. That was a fantastic, clean game. Lauren got a 180. Jaina, a 210.
Oh, lost the 9.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like something with the rake and the scoop for the 9 pin on 47 is a little bit off.
Yeah, not grabbing the 9.
It's another ball change there from Melissa. It's like she stayed with an ASIM, but went a little weaker cover on that one. It's experimenting. Looks like she went to a Attention Star S2 after the hyperdrive. That is also my preferred ball too.
Wish I had that ball. That is one I don't have in my arsenal.
That is a great ball. Very underrated. Just watching I think the U15 boys over here, they're all migrating left into the head oil and just kind of trapping it at 10, 11 down lane. I think that's smart. That's where we need to be at this point. These kids are such good spare shooters. So fun to watch.
We got the young boys and their moms coming down here. Oh, I see a little typhoon over there. That's fun.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of this, like we were talking about yesterday. Nobody's throwing the lower end balls anymore. It just seems like everyone skips those pieces. Very surprising. Maybe not for this pattern, but in general, I think those are balls that
Taryn
need to
didn't
be
like that.
invested in. Yeah, that was a little misread. My all-time favorite ball? Oh, that's hard. I can tell you my all-time favorite Roto Grip ball was the Roto Grip Loco Solid.
Whoa.
That was my all-time favorite Roto Grip ball.
That's an old one, isn't it?
That is, yeah. Way back in the day. Hey, when you're sick or hurt, the last thing your brain's thinking about is bowling. So I've been lucky enough to bowl a lot of good games while sick and injured. Yeah, all-time favorite ball ever? Probably the original Onyx Vibe, because that was one of the first reactive balls I had when I was actually a decent bowler, and I had a lot of great games with that one. What about you?
As a kid, I think the Optimist was my favorite.
Wow, okay.
But
Great ball.
the XL has been my favorite for the past year.
Yeah,
I've drilled 2, and they're amazing.
That has definitely become my favorite ball in the past few years.
I tend to like the bigger balls with higher RG.
Yeah, sure.
Those tend to be my...
Those are really good pieces that are overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So this is U12 still?
For all those still watching, comment which kid you're watching today. Let us know.
Caden is a local Michigan bowler. Has a lot of fun videos on Facebook, him making crazy splits and striking all the time. that he likes
Really?
to do. Yeah, he's super fun to watch. Good follow. He's a good kid.
All right, and we got 47-48 in their fourth game, because we did have a breakdown earlier. And then 45-46 is on their final game, and that is the U15 boys.
Okay. It's going to be interesting now seeing we went from the high rev rate U15 boys to the moderate rev rate U15 girls who are hooking them, and now back to the younger boys who look like they're playing much straighter. Very interesting things happening on these pairs. I would not want to follow the transition on these pairs. These kids are earning every pin they get here. Let's see what Cade. Oh, they're taking practice shots right now. Okay.
Oh, right.
Got
So
it.
because the wait is so long on 47 and 48, they are allowing the kids to have, I think, 2 shots
I think
each,
2 shots, yeah.
just to warm back up. Because they did wait about 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, long wait.
But like we were talking about earlier, there are some advantages to this, because now they get 2 shots to see what the lane's going to do, even though they aren't warmed up and at full speed probably. But you know, these kids are probably at full speed.
They could be.
I doubt they get cold that fast.
You're still young, right? I mean, it's good. A little bit of intel is not a bad thing. If you're ready to go and you can throw 2 quality shots, you can learn a lot from it.
I think the hardest thing about that weight is just mentally having to just sit.
Absolutely.
And these kids probably get bored extremely fast.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who need to be in a zone, like a mental place, and it's really hard to stay in that when you have a lot of static time to just kind of wait around. And so I prefer to just go.
Oh, we have Eli's mom in the chat watching Eli Schroeder here. He will be the first bowler up on 47.
Awesome.
And she says this is his first tournament.
Wow.
That's amazing. Gosh, this would be such a fun tournament to bowl your first
what
time.
a great one. Absolutely.
Kind of nerve-wracking, though, if you've never bowled
It's a
a
little
big
bit of
tournament.
a big stage to start out on, but hey, you might as well just go right after it.
If I can get Eli over here, I will. Maybe we can hand him the mic.
Wow. That is a crazy 9 count on 47. I do wonder if they hook more down on the left side of the center, because I'm seeing a lot of people playing to the right, which is, I'm shocked, especially on 45 and 6, that quite a few of them have been right of 10. We haven't seen that all day over here.
Oh, we have Caden's mom watching.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
90 pin setters in Thunderbolt watching. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, I got you. That's the name. Okay, sorry. First time.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get these boys over here to say hi.
It looks like practice shots are done and ready to go.
Eli's getting a quick consultation from his dad before he
we go.
starts here. I think Dad's making sure he knows what he's about to go do.
You know, I was always never wanted my dad around to say anything to me while I was bowling, and looking back on it, I probably should have listened to a few more things that he said.
Same here. I definitely did not listen to my dad as much as I should have. I was always I can't do that.
That's a great shot from Caden here. He's coming to the right pair for where he's playing the lanes right now. We're starting to see a lot of hook developing out there.
Eli of Brooklyn.
There we go. Perfect.
I'm going to see if I can get him over here. Your mom's watching. Do you want to say hi to her? All right, Eli's mom, I have him here. Say something to your mom.
Hey mom, how you doing?
This is your first tournament. Are you nervous?
I when on the first day I did feel some nerves, like I don't know how this is gonna be. But now I do. I like it. I really like it.
Are you having a good day so far today?
Yeah. I'm bowling a lot better than I did on the short and medium pattern. What a bad.
Good. Awesome. That was a good bowl playing.
Yeah.
Good job. Take the mic from you.
That's awesome.
All right, heard a little bit from Eli there.
I think we kind of put him on the spot there.
I think he was a little nervous,
No,
but
that's okay.
I'm glad he got to say hi to his mom. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Having a good time. Hey, really good spare there from Pierce. Do you remember your first bowling ball?
My first bowling ball?
First one ever? I remember mine was the Chicago Bears bowling
Was it
ball.
really?
It was.
I used to have those spare balls where you could like put photos in it, like
Wow.
you could like design your own bowling balls.
Oh, wow. Now, yeah.
Yeah, I
didn't
don't know. They were
that.
really old, and I don't think they lasted very long because the photo was
Okay.
printed on like the outer cover stock, so it would like wear down.
Yeah.
But oh gosh, my first ball was probably like a tropical surge or something. I bet.
Okay.
I don't know. I started bowling when I was
Yeah,
like
you are
3.
younger, so that's,
So-
that's fair.
I have no idea.
Yep, I'm pretty sure my first one was Chicago Bears ball.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a Bears fan, but
No.
it
How'd
was
you
cool.
get that ball? Was
I
it just
think
like
my-
from a league?
I think my mom's friend had it.
Oh,
and
that's
he,
nice.
Like didn't blow. It was way too heavy. I just used it.
Do we have a 9-pin call again?
That's super nice from mom.
Oh.
Yeah, the rake is dropping the 9-pin all the time. I'm not sure what's going on there. Something's up with it.
Let's see if Eli can get this. It's a really hard spare. It looks easier, but oh, that was close. It was close.
It's okay. I wonder how much the cameras are going to affect especially the younger kids. If it adds any stress to it, or
Yeah.
They can
Ooh, it's
just
a
ignore
great
it and kinda
strike
let
from
it be.
Logan.
that was a really good shot.
Seems like a few of them aren't phased.
No, not at all. It's okay.
Oh, I think he needs help changing the score.
Oh, something happened. Okay, yeah.
I'll be back. I'm gonna
Okay,
change it.
sounds good. All right. Why am I a Dolphins fan? Ace Ventura, Dan Marino. I became a fan of the movie, the player, and the number 13, all from the same exact situation. It's my favorite movie ever. All right, go Eli again on the right lane. A little miss, right? It's okay. Yeah, they're definitely playing it much straighter, the younger kids here. I mean, it makes sense with the lower rev rates, but far straighter than the rest of the division so far.
A lot of these guys seem to be missing to the right.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful spare.
I would
That's a
assume they
hard one.
started down on the far low end. They definitely hook more on the gutters over there, so it would make sense to see a few of them to the right still. Used to seeing all that friction down there. Let's see what Chase does here. He's working on a double.
So that 1, 2, 4, 5 combo.
Yeah.
That Carter was it Carter? No, it was Corbin.
Okay.
So he just missed it. That one's also another hard one where you missed to the right to leave it.
Yeah.
So then you feel like, I probably have to really overcorrect to get it to that left side of the head pin.
Absolutely.
It's a tough one,
And
mentally.
then that's a hard spare to make, no matter what you're bowling on.
Caden puts his entire body into that release.
He definitely does. Uses every muscle for sure. A lot of speed.
That's what's so special about these young boys that start two-handed early is that they're having to use every single muscle to throw that ball fast. And then the older they get, just the more power they have.
You learn to kind of back off of that, but you still have the timing and the power steps and the swing. It's impressive. It's good base to have that young. I used to stand on the very back of the approach and run as fast as I could and throw the bowling ball. And what I wouldn't give to be able to do that now.
Somebody asked if you have ever picked up the 710.
I've made it one time, and it was at the Bowler's Journal. And for whatever reason, for that 2-week span, I decided to shoot my spares with one hand. And I made it. Yeah.
Wow. Did you see yourself make it, or did you turn around?
I turned around and missed it.
Yep.
So I didn't even get to see it. But yeah, just once. I just don't throw it hard enough usually to kick them out. So the one I've made, and I don't even think I've shot one out of the deck since then.
It's hard to do, and there's certain machines where the likelihood goes really far down.
Absolutely, yeah. They just the pin just kind of falls in the pit. And I've seen quite a few of them made here, though. Tony, I have a fun fact about Tony. He bowled back-to-back 300s in league here after a 160 game. So 160, 300, 300.
Wow, a 760.
So that's a fun fact about some of our commenters here in the chat.
It's a good fun fact. Oh, that's a good ball from Logan.
They're starting to try to migrate a little bit further left. I think you gotta go at least a zone to the left on this pair for them. We're still seeing that kind of on 45 and 6 too. The guys that are still a little bit to the right having a hard time. Because then you got to up the speed to get it through all that hook.
Seems like Isaiah has the right idea. He's got a 5-bagger right now.
Yeah.
Let's see
way
where.
further left.
Oh, is he? Oh, he's standing in front of the ball return.
He is in front of the ball return. Yep. He is. Then it's just all just fresh head oil. Really smart to leave yourself somewhere to play.
Wow.
Yeah, just kind of trapping it at 10, 11. It's really good. Great shot.
Great shot from Caden
Caden's
Kelso.
bowling great over here.
He's got 4 in a row.
Really good shot. I love that jersey.
I heard his dad was a professional football player? Question mark?
Wow.
I think. Might have heard that wrong, but I'm pretty sure
that's
that's what I heard
awesome.
yesterday.
Wow.
So athlete
Is that
genes
true?
on that kid.
It is true? Oh, okay. Wow, awesome. That's super cool.
Very nice.
I wonder what teams he played for. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I wonder if it helps or hurts having an athletic parent.
Sure.
I feel like they would probably be able to sympathize in those low moments more than a parent who was not into sports would be able to.
That's a good point.
But I feel like they would also be harder because they know what's happening, 100%.
Because
Because I feel like in any sport, it's the same mental battle.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. My dad was a wrestler, and he was just an athlete all around, and he was really hard on me. My mom, not so much, but it's good to have people that understand, what it takes to get to a highest level, and to have a professional athlete, especially too, as a parent or nephew, cousin, uncle, any of that stuff, that they can identify with what it takes to get you there and help steer you in the right direction. So that's awesome.
Wow, look at that pose from Chase
nice.
Rudy. This kid is so fun to watch.
They are full of mannerisms. It's awesome.
We have somebody in the chat cheering for Pierce.
Hey,
He's
Pierce.
up right now. And he's got 3 spares, so he's killing it.
See if Pierce can throw you a strike after
we
that
got
shot
a
out.
lot of claps down on the lower end.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a 300. But if I heard that with headphones on, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that had to be a lot.
Ooh, Pierce.
There we go. Right on
A
cue.
perfectly executed Brooklyn.
Tony, let's not talk about my youth horseshoe career.
You were
even
a
though
horseshoe champion?
It was a stellar career. I was, yeah. Not a Walter Ray level, but
That's impressive.
That was pretty good.
Wow, Corbin over there has got great form. Might just be having lane play issues.
Amazing shot by Caden there. Stone 9.
To the side.
He made a good move left there. That was a smart play, I think. And it dropped the 9. Oh, no.
Oh, there's Chase again.
Hold on, Caden. We got to wait for it. Yeah, it's smart. I mean, it's good to see the intuition of these kids. They feel the changes. They feel the early hook, and they're just naturally, going away from it.
I think at a younger level, sometimes, because you know how they say ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
At this
absolutely.
age, you're seeing your shape
Yeah.
more
that's
than
right.
you'd probably be seeing anything else.
Yep.
And sometimes that helps if you're only focused on your shape.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's a really good point. When we get to the professional level, there's a lot of guys who are super technical and they know everything about bowling, everything about oils, everything about machines, and then you get guys who just have incredible feel and they see shape.
Yep.
And you can have success either way. I mean, you take a guy like Simo who could tell you, every single thing that you need to know about everything, and then a guy like EJ who just has unbelievable feel, and they're both incredible. It's a lot of pathways to get there. That's another good shot. It's awesome. Look at these guys all cheering on everyone on their pair. This is great.
I would have so much more fun at tournaments if my crossing partners were
Me too.
this energetic.
You know what? I'm going to make it a point to
Yeah. Normally I'm not a
energize
clapper.
my
Like I
pair.
don't clap for, or not clapper. I don't high five people.
Oh, okay.
Normally
Wow.
I just sit by myself,
All right.
which kind of comes across as rude sometimes.
I
But
understand.
it's just like a focus thing.
Hey, you want to do
But
your
this
own
is
thing.
making me want to high five people. Like this is kind of fun.
I am all for. I'm both. It just depends on the situation. But we actually have a guy that I bowl with, and he has T-shirts, and they say meaningless high fives on his shirt, and he will not high five anyone.
Wow.
Yeah, he just.
Okay.
Yeah, he takes it very competitive.
All right.
I'm at the point in my career now where I have experienced every sort of thing, and it's just easier to have fun with the people you're bowling with. The last thing
so
you want to
too.
do is be miserable, especially when they're hard.
I think so. When you're a kid, like we have these U12 boys in front of us, and the U15 boys. You're still really friendly with your crossing partners
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you're still trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, you're learning.
Then when you get up to the U18, you know what you're doing, and you start to see other people as threats,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
fair.
never the case with bowling. Like somebody else is never your threat because if you're missing a spare, you just took yourself out of the run.
Yeah, agreed.
You know,
Yeah.
it's totally singular in that aspect. So
It's okay to compare yourself, to achieve things, but it's you against the oil pattern, it's you against the building.
100%. It's
every
who can
time.
execute better on a certain day.
Absolutely. It's good to compete against people, even if you feel like they're at a higher level than you. It's the only way to get better.
Yeah.
It's another good shot. They are all cheering on Caden, and he is throwing some great shots right now.
This is
great
awesome.
energy here.
Oh my gosh.
This is awesome. I love it.
This boy is bowling better than everybody else in view.
This is just reminding me that I take things too serious sometimes, and I
Gosh,
need to have
his
more
mom
fun.
and him have the cutest
Yeah,
handshake
it's
I've
so
ever
awesome.
seen.
This is great.
That is awesome. Wow.
Super cool. Hopefully we can keep it going here. Oh wow, that's a
I think
bad
Chase
break,
should just
bro.
keep going with these Brooklyn's. He's getting close.
I think he can move at least another 4 or 5 to the left. No problem. I think he's just seeing a little too much of that hook. Front part of the lane. Let's see how he shoots this. Looks like he's throwing the same ball at it.
Was that his first ball?
I think so. Oh, he just perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you're two-handed and you want to learn how to shoot a spare, Chase will show you the way.
Yeah, that could not have been any more perfect.
That is how you should do it.
Someone put that on his highlight reel. That was great.
great. Yeah, awesome. Textbook. A little bit up the lane from Pierce there.
So what is, because I wouldn't know this because I'm a one-handed bowler, but
Sure.
I see a lot of two-handed bowlers when they go up and they finish, they fall off to the right pretty
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Is that just because they have so much momentum?
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, the timing has to be a little bit. It's always a little bit later for the two-handers because we want to, create that slingshot and a little faster. And usually that comes with a lot of foot speed. I'm sure they're still like learning their bodies and they're still growing a lot. But yeah, for the most part, it's just getting too much of your weight forward over your hip, your spine angle getting a little too far forward in your fourth and fifth steps. It's something I struggle with still every day. I work on constantly is maintaining that consistent spine angle. And you'll see a lot of like the beginning two-handers here. They dip a lot. They'll be straight up. They'll dip. They'll come back up. But it's a very difficult thing to maintain your spine angle throughout your approach. So you'll see a ton of falling
I'm telling ya, these Brooklyns are getting close.
off. He's finding a way to get 9.
Hey, 9
that's
spare
okay.
all day is fine.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting 9. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it for them is foot speed. And as they
Did you
get
see
stronger,
that ball from Riley?
That was awesome.
I don't even know how all 10 of those fell.
It's the lotus, right? Just hit it right in the middle and it just
Is that what it's
opens
called?
up on both sides. Perfect.
Oh, I love it.
Really good shot. I don't get those hits a lot anymore. I always will leave something.
I don't ever think I've gone straight through the
telling you.
nose and got a strike.
Let's see if Caden can keep this going.
Oh, if it's a Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? Oh, it laid there. Oh, get it. Oh, great shot. Good run. Great
That
job.
was 6 in a row from Caden Kelso.
Great job, Caden.
Absolutely amazing. Great shot
Yeah,
from Riley
that was much
Bogart
better
on
from Riley
46.
there. Good spare from Chase again.
He strikes out. If Riley strikes out 46, that's a 192.
It's a good finish. Good four-bagger to end the game. That'd be huge. Isaiah bowling a really good game. Had the one open, but playing the lanes the right way. Using his rev rate to his advantage.
Caden's over there counting boards.
He is.
Feet.
Yeah, poor kid hasn't shot a spare in an hour.
Wow.
Good spare. There you go. Looks a little surprised, but that's okay.
I was a little surprised he made that too. That was a little close.
There's 18 inches to hit on every single pin spare. 9 inches to the, or 9. I can't even talk right now. 18 total inches to hit it. So a lot of miss room, even though it doesn't look like it.
That's a fun little fact.
Yeah.
That makes me feel even worse about when I miss it.
Yeah, oh, trust me. I wish
a
I
big
didn't know
window.
that. 'Cause that's all
Well.
in your. Well, you have 18 inches. Well, you know what? I'll find a way to miss it by
Miss
19.
all 18, yeah.
All right, we'll take that Brooklyn there, Caden. Looks like he balled down, I think. Max thrill, I believe he went to there. I would like to see him be
Logan might get that.
a couple of arrows to the right. That was a great spare from Logan. I think Caden has plenty of rev rate. And he could go 10 more left. No problem.
Oh,
Great
Caden locked
shot,
in again.
Caden.
Look how chill he is.
Yeah.
My knees would be shaking.
It's awesome. He's intense. I like that. That is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cool. You know what? I'm starting strike celebrations with everyone I encounter.
Seriously.
From now on. I'm doing it.
He takes his strike celebrations just about as
does.
seriously as he does that first strike ball.
Hey, that is awesome.
That's so cool.
Love to see that.
Logan is so
That was a good
close.
shot. It was a good location, yeah. Really close. See a spare here from Eli.
Wow.
I like his
Corbin
chances
over there
here.
on 46 with a Brooklyn.
Oh, no way.
Oh, that was so close.
You can blame me for that one, Eli. That's
He
my
black
fault.
clouded
I
you.
clouded you. I'm sorry. Yeah, good spare there from Logan. All right, Chase. Looks like Chase moved a little bit to the left here.
Oh.
Well,
Maybe if he moved his break point just a little.
yeah, agreed.
Wait, I think he left it and moved his feet.
Yeah, I think the move, it needs to be less of an angle change and more of a
Let's move his eyes
parallel
a little left with his feet.
move.
That was good. Well, this is an easier spare for Eli,
You
so.
know, a little bit easier, this a little less pressure to make this one.
That's nice. Oh, I think he got that.
Good shot.
I hope he keeps those celebrations when he
Me
grows
too.
up.
Yeah, me too. The one thing I'm noticing about a lot of the young two-handers is they tend to cut it off short at the foul line a lot. They're not following through to their target as much. And so it's making the ball see the front of the lane so much harder and burn up energy and just respond inconsistently across the lane. So it makes you think you got to make way more moves than you really have to. Something they could definitely work on if you're a young two-hander. Work on being longer at the foul line, following through to your target, cutting it off a little bit less. And he did a great job there on the spare. He was really long with it. All right, I'm calling it. I'm calling the spare for Chase.
It's not as tough as it looks.
I think he's making it.
He might be able to get that. Wow.
He's got a lot of right back. I think he could easily go another
Backup
arrow.
ball.
Oh wow, he's going the hard way at it.
Oh. If that was his strike ball, I would have got it.
Yeah, let's see a good spare here from Caden. There you go.
How fast is he throwing that?
That was pretty fast.
17 miles an hour.
That was fast.
Wow.
They're powerful. I guess I go to the gym one extra day next week.
He motivated you to hit
after
the
watching
gym.
this, like, maybe I should go. That is really good. Oh, get it. Oh, I thought that was a really good shot off his hand.
Let's look at scores here. I want to know where this game's going to put him.
Yeah, it's a big one. Great spare by Pierce there.
So all the other U12 boys are almost done. So these guys are a game behind. Let's see.
Looks like he's minus 34, so a good 10th frame here and get right back to plus.
Yeah, so some of the boys that have already finished, there's Brennan with plus 42 and Trevor Mason with plus 3, and they're done, it looks like.
Okay.
So yeah, he could definitely get, if he has one more good game, he'll be second or first. Easy work for him.
Easy.
Doesn't seem like that'll
He
be
looks
hard.
like he's feeling good right now.
I mean, what's more fun than a 220, 230 at that age?
Absolutely. I like the personal fans.
Yeah.
I like that big industrial fan stay cold. I'm always cold, so I am looking to avoid being near fans.
I usually bring a fan because if I don't have a fan up at the ball return, that works.
Wow, what a terrible break. That was a great shot, Caden. Nothing to feel bad about there. Just pick up the spare. He's going spare ball at the spare. I like that. At that age, super smart. Just throw it right at it. Well, that's gonna.
So he can max at 237.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the prediction. He's gonna be plus after this game.
Yeah, needs almost all of them to go plus. And a nice last game, yeah. Could put him at second. That'll be good.
Fine.
It'll definitely help his overall score.
Yeah, for sure. Help you move up. I think there could be a lot of movement on this pattern. Yeah, that was just a really good game. 2 of those in a row, but
and with that,
awesome game.
Caden is plus 2. Oh, look at all the high fives. That's so nice.
Wow, this is super cool to see everybody supporting everyone. Adults, we can all learn some things from these young kids.
Yeah. And just a reminder, the rest of the field is finishing up their last game. This pair was 1 game behind, so we will still have, I think, another group of kids bowling.
One more group.
Unless they move to them, but I don't think so.
Is the same thing on 55? I would assume because they're the pair that moved from 47 and 8. So we'll have 2 pairs bowling later than everybody else, but that's okay. Another
that was a really great ball from Eli.
That was what we were talking about a little bit earlier, where the balls are maybe a little too light. to carry those hits right now. Just not quite. Getting
I'm
through the
so
pin strong.
surprised at how calm he is for this being his first tournament.
Yeah,
I would be
he's
so
super
nervous.
relaxed. Yeah.
Oh, so close. Let's see where he's at with standings.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few guys all hovering around the same 20 pin distance down 5th through 11th place, so that'll move around. A little wide again.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Line up and hit your spare here.
Gosh, it's really easy to miss to the right when you're getting tired.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if they noticed, but the rack dropped the 9 pin on the spare there. All right.
They have been alerted.
You know that if he 9 pins on the spare, it's our fault, 100%. Let's
Yeah.
hope that doesn't happen.
Wonder if he's having sliding problems.
Definitely looking like having some approach issues up there. I am super surprised we didn't see more of the two-handers to the left. Caden looked like he was the furthest left as the one-hander, I thought, with the probably the lowest rev rate of any of the bowlers, and had the best game using that fresh oil in the heads.
Oh. All right.
A little
155.
frustrating.
That'll put them around 5, 6, and 8, minus 190, somewhere around there. And there's a big group of boys around that score, so he's definitely still keeping pace.
Yep. It's easy to get lost in that when you have somebody on the pair that's bowling really well.
Oh,
not
somebody is
always the
eating a
case.
cheeseburger right in front of us.
This is, torture.
That's crazy.
It looks phenomenal. There you go. That's a good move by Pierce there. Maybe still
Wow,
could
very
even
late
go
hook.
a little further to the left, but that was a smart move. I
Are
like
these
that.
boys, I cannot tell what balls they're throwing, but they're seeming to hook so late.
Yeah. Looks like they're using super clean, responsive stuff. I think that was that was a pitch black. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, he makes urethane hook a lot more than I do. That is,
Ditto? That's crazy. That's all right. 169 for Pierce. And that is it for these U12 boys.
All right.
Looks like we have I think these are U15 boys coming over.
Okay.
And we are going to put this on a little commercial break while they warm up. And I'm going to adjust the cameras so that way you're just seeing 47 and 48. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Sorry for that connection issue. I think we went out for just a couple minutes, but we are back with the U15 boys.
Yeah, they are all curving the lane, doing the right thing, opening them up. I think that we're going to see a lot of strikes.
If we have any spectators in the comments, let us know if any of these boys are the ones you are watching.
That hooked a lot. Wow.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of hook. Well, like usual, I curse everybody again, and that was a little slow. His first shot in the left lane was 19-ish miles an hour. That one, 17.9. Just didn't quite hold with a little miss in. He throws it hard enough, he might be able to pick this up.
You think?
I think so. That was pretty close. I haven't seen Michael Bowl yet this weekend. This is my first time getting a look at him.
Wow.
Well, that's a nice release. Whoa, okay. All right.
So they need to reset the two.
Pin decks are getting a little sloppy from all the volume. Long pattern, starting to carry down to the deck a little bit.
We have two people in the chat rooting for these bowlers. We have Brady Sparks' mom in the chat.
Awesome.
And a fan of Noah's.
All right.
Hopefully they show off for you guys and bowl well. We're just going to wait for a reset on 48. And since everybody is done except for 3 lanes, feel free to ask for any specific scores if you'd like to know how a certain kid is doing, or look it up on bowlmetrics.com.
Looks like we got that reset. All right. Do you think it's tougher to bowl in the silence when you've been bowling in the noise all day? Kind of feel like you're bowling match play, all the eyes are on you, or
I
it
do.
doesn't bother you as much?
I do think about it, which I think affects me. The fact that I notice it at all.
Yeah, right?
It's just like a change, you know?
Yeah, the fact that it exists is enough. Yeah, I agree. It's funny talking to bowlers, and you think you're the only one who thinks one way, and then you meet all the people who do the same thing. And you're like, oh no, it's
Yeah, we
everyone.
all think that way.
Yeah, it's just normal. Derek's a super smooth two-hander.
Wow, that's a great line.
Great shot. Got a lot of touch. We'll take it, Braden.
good.
We will take it.
There's a cheer from the low end, but I don't think he heard it.
I just like to pretend everyone clapping's for me always.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me feel better.
You're the star of the show.
Sure. That one was, you can tell that was
I would not be
that one
throwing
was
that ball
gassed
right
a
now.
little bit. He's so far to the right, throwing it so hard. Drop the 9-pin again. The mechanic is quicker than my brain.
Oh, is that what you were going to tell them?
Yeah, the 9-pin was down. Yeah, that one you see Zach threw that one almost 20 miles an hour, which his first shot was around 19 too, and then on the right lane he threw it a little bit slower. So
Don't you think since his ball is hooking so early that it's more inconsistent down lane?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't be throwing that.
It's a very bold strategy, and I'm sure he's had some good games today doing it.
Well, it's hard when you go 10 straight back to think, oh, I'm in the wrong ball.
Yeah, you can be tricked so easily.
Yeah, he's a little frustrated.
The worst part is when you go to a pair and you just throw two amazing shots that are so unrepeatable that it gives you bad knowledge and you're lost for another 2 frames. That doesn't happen a lot for me because I don't throw a lot of 100% shots, but it has happened in the past. That's a good spare by Noah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think everyone's a little too far to the right still. I gotta think just based on how they're playing that the gutter hooks a little more on the low end, or I feel like we'd see a lot more people way further left where Derek is.
Yeah, because there were younger boys throwing it slower that were standing 15 boards left, which
I think you kind of have to be in there. You got to chase it that way. There's not a whole lot of head oil left after all these shots. Got to chase and find where it is. I like his ball roll, Michael's really a good ball roll. Really nice.
yeah, I would probably not be bowling very well right now if I was these guys. The bowling alley is so quiet,
Yeah, it's got
and
really
there's
silent.
just a bunch of people sitting around, happening to watch because what else are they
sure.
gonna do?
Nothing else going on. Yeah, it's just so unreliable out there to get the ball back. It's easy to have the tendency you want to kind of chase the hole, the oil down the lane, rather than all the hook, but so hard to get it back there consistently. Way too flat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good shot. Derek playing him
Everyone should
very
take
well.
notes.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just begging to be copied. It's yelling, "Watch me." It's funny when we're bowling tour events and one specific person's crushing and you look back and there's 25 other bowlers standing watching trying to get an idea of what's going on. It's always good to be that person.
Oh, I bet.
There's,
Ooh, a wrapped in.
That's a really good shot. That looks like a ball down, still urethane, but a little less stronger in the front. A little more predictable down the lane. He looks a little frustrated at his choice.
Sometimes when you tell yourself, I need this score to win,
Yep.
that is one of the toughest things mentally when you can't
Bowling's-
get it.
Bowling's hard enough, yeah. Putting that extra stress is
Are you a score watcher or no?
not. I used to be. Now, not at all. Now I just kind of let it happen. It's good to know pace. So I'll glance every once in a while just to kind of get an idea of the pace, but not obsessive like some people. That ball is reacting harder than any ball I've seen on this pair. I don't know what he's throwing, but it is just magnifying the hook. But yeah, no, I started to learn. It took me a long time. I started to learn that the last thing I need is more things making it difficult to throw the bowling ball. It's got to do everything you can to just put that stuff aside.
I agree. Knowing the cut is helpful.
Sure, yeah.
Even sometimes it's like if you're right under the cut and you find out what that is and you're under.
Yep.
Sometimes that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a good thing too, like when you're making ball changes, or if you're gonna do something drastic. It's a lot easier to know you're 50 pins in the cut than guessing. Like, I could be at the number and letting it affect changes that you would make. So I understand both sides for sure. Let's see if Derek can keep it going here. He's throwing 4 really good shots.
The thing these guys are doing is when they throw a ball, they're looking back at their parents.
Yeah, I'm noticing that a ton. Yep. At the end of the day, you are throwing the bowling ball, so you gotta rely on the information, the feedback that you're getting. That was a good.
He's
That's
gonna
okay.
need
That
to
was a
move.
good miss. Yeah.
He almost left the 4-pin on the other lane and he tripped it, and that was almost 4-7-10.
Could definitely go a few more to the left. It's a good break there. Only get 9. There's not a lot of high scorers. I mean, these are some of the elite bowlers in this division, and nobody's plus. So they're dealing with a lot of transition today. Do we have an overall standings?
Yeah.
That also.
because the awards will be as soon as this is over,
Mhm.
and they'll be giving out awards for the long and then overall champion awards for this tournament.
Good spare by Derek there.
Okay. So let's work from these boys. You 15 boys. So Francis Johnson is first at 111.
Oh, Zach here is in second. Okay.
Yeah, so far Zach is in second. Oh, I see why he was upset.
There you go. That's a really good
He
shot.
needed to go. He can only go 180 before he drops. So I think he's putting a bit of pressure on himself. And then
Still get 240 out of this. It'd be a great
yeah,
game.
he should be all right.
No problem.
I think he was trying to win,
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
which I get.
Trying to win is a difficult thing to do.
And then Eli Ackner is minus 43 in third. So there's
Okay.
a ginormous
Yeah,
jump
big
between
gap.
first and third. Let's see anybody on this pair.
All right. Take that, Noah. It's okay. Struggling a little bit on this pair.
All right, we should have final results for the women, which we can read now.
Okay. Game behind, maybe there.
Yeah, seems like they are still a game behind. Wow, the girls are bowling. U18 girls, Gianna Brandolino hasn't even gotten her last score put in, I don't think, and she's plus 283 pin.
She
That's
is
insane.
doing very well.
Let's see if the U18 boys are. Yeah, Max Oken 265. So yeah, there's some really high scores.
Yeah. All right, see if Derek makes the move here.
Yeah, it looked like he threw it wider, which
Yeah,
is
it
not
did.
what I would have done.
Got it to the friction a little too quick.
He,
That lane just started to blow apart last game.
if I was him, I would just tighten it back up and move left.
Yeah, you got all that rev rate. Feel free to move left. Keep trying to find things that help your ball get down the lane.
He might have to loft it. Like, I think he's as far as he can get without standing in front of the ball return,
might
which is
need
probably
to
the problem.
Go with the 3-step, right?
But I don't think a lot of kids know how to 3-step. I don't because I've never had to.
It's very difficult. I do a lot of 3-step drills, but just for timing stuff.
Yeah,
not-
I've
not
done
that I'm
drills, but
actually
yeah,
doing it.
never in a tournament.
If I'm 3-stepping, I probably don't have a chance to win. So there's no point.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
no
if a
point
lefty
doing
is 3-stepping, did somebody oil the lanes?
it. You know, probably not. I've practiced a few times on some pairs that
God.
I'm confident hadn't been oiled 6-7 days that I had to do that, but hey, he didn't give
Alright,
up.
good
You know, I know he's frustrated, but he's now made 3 great shots in a row. It's time to just let the frustration go and focus and make your best shots now.
It's hard to, you know, when you have a chance at first to get second,
Sure,
but I mean,
yeah,
these kids are bowling for scholarship money. So, I mean, it's all kind of the same there. They all
Sure,
get
yeah.
a lot. It'll still be nice.
It's going to help you later in life for sure. Less student debt, always a good thing.
Yeah. Wow, that was a
Really
great
good shot from Michael. Yeah. You know, everyone's kind of settling down a little bit now. I know Noah's a little frustrated here, but I'm going to predict a good shot.
Yeah, we have a fan of Noah's in the chat. So hopefully he strikes. Yep,
Look at
perfect.
that, right on cue. Thanks, Noah. Make me look like I know what I'm talking about. Great shot.
Yeah, he's happy with that one.
That's awesome. All right, what are we predicting here? What do we think Derek's going to do? Think left and a little more loft?
I don't know. I hope he moves.
I hope he goes a few
a
more.
lot left. Yeah, he did.
You know, lefties, we're used to those, 1, 2, 3 board moves, not the 7, 8, 9 that you guys are used to.
Looked like he just jumped
That's a
4
big
or
move.
5 left, depending on how he lines up. Yep, perfect.
Great
So
shot.
he's not going to be able to stand there on the right lane.
Yeah, that will require being in front of the ball return for sure.
Yeah, that's a tough situation to be in.
And when I was younger, I practiced that a lot, getting in front of the ball return and lofting it. And as I got older, I'm like, oh yeah, we don't have to do this on the left side of the lane
Yeah, which is
ever,
nice.
thankfully.
Moves on the right, especially when there's this many kids and this many games,
Yeah,
you're going to be moving zones probably a lot.
absolutely. It really is two different sports, it feels like at times on the left and the right. We're just playing different games. Same goal, we're getting there in different ways. It's a great shot.
That was good.
He's still frustrated, but that's okay. You're balling great right now. And you're rocking a hot dog jersey, so I mean,
Hot dog jersey's awesome.
it's pretty awesome.
No.
Sometimes it feels like you shouldn't get away with things, but you know what? You got to celebrate every single little break. Oh, he's pumped up down there. That's a few shots now I've heard him. He is having a good time. There's just way too much friction to the right from Michael. He could definitely be right about where Derek is. Plenty of rev rate. I am noticing a trend of a lot of two-handers now. I see that a lot of them they like to throw it hard and straight. You know, you're given that free rev rate. Feel free to
Take
go to the
advantage of
left
it.
and take advantage. Yeah, absolutely. That's an advantage that you have over a lot of people. Don't be afraid to get in there and learn how to hook it. You definitely need to know how to roll it and play straight. Definitely work on that. But situations like this, you know, let your rev rate be your friend. Because when you get old like me, you're not going to be able to use it as much.
Not that old.
I'm getting there. You know, senior tour 2040. I'm coming. All right, good spare, Michael. All right, does he get in front of the ball return this shot? Yeah, I think he has to. Right?
Well, if he doesn't, he'd have to change his ball roll or something.
Yeah, for sure.
The question is whether or not he knows how.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these kids might not be very experienced in that yet. He looks like he's got a pretty good handle, and he's got a really good
That was
touch.
a great ball by Braden.
That's a really good shot.
Yep, he's three-stepping. Oh, this will be fun to watch.
I think it's coming. He knows. He's ready to go.
Oh, I'm so glad he moved.
Great shot.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was good.
Good shot, Derek. It's so easy to hit that transition stage in the game where you spare open and just let it kind of tumble down, but made all the right moves and two great shots. Oh, trip six. I love it. And it almost looks like Zach is waiting to get a bad break. Like he's just waiting to let the anger get to you. But you know what? Channel that to positive things.
Yeah, if I was him, I would practice chilling.
Yeah, you gotta chill out a little bit, for sure.
But I get why he's so amped
Yeah,
up.
it's okay to be amped up, 100%. But
I don't know, I'm always way more intimidated by the people that are like stealthy.
yeah, right? There's some guys that just look like
Never
they
phased.
just don't care. Yeah.
Ah, that was a very big difference from the last ball he threw.
That definitely hooked many feet sooner. It looks like whenever he hits up on it at all in any way, it hooks 10 feet sooner for him. His ball seeing the changes much more drastic than everybody else.
Yep.
I can't quite tell what he's using. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Free bagger for Braden.
Throwing the 6 forward. That's nice.
Rocking my personal favorite brand jersey.
Same.
You have a new fan, Braden. 2 new fans. Great shot from Brady there. Seeing a lot of frustration come out on just not really on people acting out, but on the faces. Long day, struggling, but you got to fight for every pin. Everything matters.
Seemed like there were a few pairs that were higher, and I don't. This pair was close, but they were like second high.
Okay.
So I can see why they're frustrated.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was.
You were right on the call when he four-pinned, and then he moved over here and went heavy, threw one great shot and struck, and then it broke loose again, even more. Yeah.
It's okay. He can still make that a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. .218 can get him to plus for the block. Not a whole lot of that going on right now, so that'll be just fine.
What did he need to go plus? A 217?
217, yep. So I need double 9.
Wow.
That's some really great shots here. He's fighting the inner demons, but that's okay. Persevering through it. It's okay.
Yeah, Zachary's a bit concerned with where he's placing.
Yeah, definitely. You know, for the fact that like he's so cognizant of what he needs and aware of it to throw a six-bagger. If I thought about it that much, I'd have 6 of something in a row, but it wouldn't be strikes.
Wouldn't be strikes.
No.
Yeah.
It would be bowling balls. I've tried this game because I would not be striking. But he's doing a good job of it.
Yeah, even if you fall behind and you can't win, it's always nice to go out on a high game.
Absolutely. My spirits are always better in that, every tour stop, even when I'm not in the cut, to finish with a big game, leave on a good note, build for the next tournament is always good. Here we go, Braden, another Brooklyn. Nothing wrong with that. Gonna steal 200 out of this pair one way or the other.
Oh, he almost didn't know that was 10th rank.
I don't know if he wants to throw another shot on 47. It's not a popular lane right now.
You better move, because that last ball was iffy.
All right. Oh, looks a little move left. Let's see what we get here.
Oh. Yeah, threw that out a little bit.
And I have black clouded another bowler. As if he spares it, he bowls 199.
That was all you.
I am not doing well today.
Oh.
Get lucky? Oh, okay. It's all right. 2-0 here. I know he could have been a little better there, but they got really difficult in the middle of that game. And now the factor of, they have Zach too, who's using a ball that chews up the front part of the lane a lot, and he's super far right into their laydown, so they're seeing a little bit extra traffic.
Well, good thing he didn't really need that pin.
I think Zach told me if he strikes out, he can win by 5.
Lose by 5.
Lose by 5. Okay.
Lose by 5, I think.
All right. Well,
but I don't know if that's true either. Let me look it up.
Don't leave it up to chance. Throw all 3 of them. It's a good shot by Brady. I know he's frustrated, but he is putting on a great performance here at the end.
So he's at plus 63, and the winner is at 111. That's math I'm not doing in my head. Hold on.
243.
48.
Yeah, so he will be minus
5.
Yeah.
5 below the leader.
That's tough.
That does suck, but
It's a great finish, though, to fight back and keep your position.
yeah, he could have been way lower than that.
It's okay, get 3. It's a really good game on this pair. I mean, we have not seen a lot of great games bowled here. He's got a lot of skill. He's going to have a really good career. I know he didn't get the win today, but I think he's going to get plenty of them.
Yeah, he shouldn't be upset about that.
All right, getting down to the final 10th frame. Let's see if Noah can. His ball, like I said, I don't know what he's using, but he is getting that thing to outhook everybody's ball on this pair by a mile. Well, we got to end on a good note. We need strikes here on the fill balls.
Looks like Michael might. It's on a tricky.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's all right.
And the world's hardest spare when they're hooking.
Yeah, seriously. All right, well, with that concludes our round 3. And we will be posting the winners on Facebook on both Storm Youth and Storm on both Facebook pages. So check in, see if your bowler won. You can also check the scores as they're updating them right now on Bowl Metrics. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next SYC.